Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you the Tottenham fan phone-in show where you guys come on and have your say on all things the mighty Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, we are joined by co-host Jack. Jack, how are you keeping, my man?
Keeping very well, David. It is always that time of the week. It's the therapy session for, everybody in the Harris Army as well. It's a bit of a therapy session for us, David. We just get to sit back, have to hear what maybe, the rest of the Spurs fans have to say regarding whatever news there's been, regarding maybe the future as well. It's honestly a therapy session for all of us, same time next week, David, as always.
No, it is. And look, these are, I have to say, some of our favorite shows, Jack, because, we get to really meet everybody, hear what they have to say and everything else. It's absolutely brilliant. Guys, everyone that does want to come on and have this, look, believe me, we have a very eclectic group here waiting in the background to come on. You've Chris, you've Brian Daigle, Brad Matthews, Ben Kaufman, Tottenham Tantrum, Coover. I do want to say Philip was due to come on, but guys, his stomach bug, it's killing him. So look, everyone get in the chat. Wish Philip for full recovery. Get back to full health, Philip, my man, because we're going to need you this week. Because look, Jack, it's the week where we get back into it. Premier League's right around the corner. Look, we're off the back of Ireland. Good international campaign for Ireland. Good win for us yesterday. Look, Harry Kane. 4 goals tonight, 3 the other night. He's on absolute fire. Hopefully, he can bring it back. Get back to Tottenham and hopefully, a bit of normal business will resume, Jack. Tottenham back to winning ways. We've got a very nice set of fixtures coming up, a nice set of 5 games. We've got Leeds. I think we've got Burnley. Who else have we got? We've got Leeds, Burnley.
Norwich after that?
Norwich. Yeah, Norwich, Brentford, yeah. And there's another one in there. Very easy games, very, very winnable games as well. So now if we can go on a nice run,
and Brighton,
we could be in top 4 coming into the December period, So it's a very crucial period now. We got the man at the helm. Hopefully, he's had 2 weeks to work with some of the players that didn't go on international duty. Hopefully, we can help use them now to get into the team and maybe implement his plan. And look, let's go. That's all I can say. It's a very exciting time. Very, very exciting time to be a Tottenham fan. We've got the right man at the helm. But look, as always, let's see, what the Harris Army see who's in the chat here to join us. We have Dermot was in nice and early. He says, ladies and gentlemen, it's the main event of the evening. In the blue corner from the USA, it's Jack, the stats man. And in the red corner, it's the toughest Spurs fan around, the Irish Hotspur. Come on, you Irish Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Big up, Dermot. We'll have to start getting Dermot to write intros for us or something like that. He's brilliant. Celery agents in the house. Big up, Celery, my man. I hope you're keeping well. We also have Adam. He says, looking forward to this. One of my favorite times of the week. Big up,
Adam.
Well, my man. Zanuska Ramshunder. I love saying that name every time. She says, evening, guys. Can't wait to hear everyone's opinions. Hashtag come on, you Spurs. Hashtag come on, you Harris Army. Hashtag come on, you Flat Cap Army. Big yourself up, Zanuska. Good to see you in. We also have Para Miguel Escobardo all the way from Lagos. Says, good evening, fam. Come on, you Harris Army. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Para. Hope you're keeping well. Alfie Gosling's in the house. He says, Kane has scored 4 in the England, and that was only the first half. I think he's back on form. Look, form is temporary, class is permanent. That's all I'm going to say. Rowan Coomer is in the house. Big up, Rowan. Alfie Kane is on form all the time, but it's about motivation for him. Yeah, fair. I think I'll be honest with you. I think it's more about service. But look, I can see where Rowan's coming from, my man. Sean Byrne, Football Channel says, "Where is your European football?" Yeah, we're in Europa Conference League, lads. So we are in Europe. If you're an Arsenal fan, where's yours?
Show me yours. Show me yours.
Yeah, exactly. I raised you to Europa Conference League. What do you raise me, Sean? Duncan Ratband says, I like this intro music. Big yourself up. You like that one? Wait till you see what we got coming up for the Leeds game before it. You're going to be absolutely smashing things, my man. You're going to be so pumped. Derek Hutchinson says, good evening, Damon and Jack. Harris Army rules. Big yourself up. Hope you're keeping well. Light work is in the house. He says, Kane is back. Can't wait till the Prem gets back. I can't either, my man. I cannot wait either. Mac is in the house. Says, come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Spurs.
Big up, Mac.
Big up, Mac. We have Klisky in the house. He says, subscribe. Big up, Klisky. You're telling everybody. Klisky, you're in charge of making sure people subscribe today, my man. Golden Cock says, big up each and everyone. Big up, Golden Cock. It's good to see you in. Shamu, of course, is here. What a day for Croatia and Serbia. Off to Qatar.
Qatar. Qatar. The
Yourself
itches will be in Qatar. The itches are going to Qatar. Both of the itches, honestly, both countries of itches. Big up, Shamu. Big up.
I'm absolutely delighted for Luka Modric, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, and honestly, I will say Serbia though as well. Dusan Tadic, had two, fantastic. He had a goal that, with the big mistake from Rui Patricio. Then Mitrovic, the big man himself, nodded one home to, send Portugal crying. Dave, we couldn't love it. Couldn't love it anymore.
That's what it's about, lad. That is what it's about, actually. You know what I mean? Now Portugal have to go off to the playoffs. Let's see if they can get through them. JC's in the house. He says, "Good evening, gentlemen. Big up, JC. I hope you're keeping well." Jesse Johan says, just finished work. It's 11 p.m. here in Finland. Now to relax with the legendary flat caps. What could be better? Jesse, there is nothing better, my man. Just relax, chill out. Flat cap brings everybody good vibes. You know what I mean? A long day after work, maybe have a beer, whatever it is you like to do, relax and just enjoy yourself, my man. Look, we're talking about Tottenham, the greatest club on planet Earth. You know what? How can life get better, my man? Ben Kaufman says, get well soon, Philip. That's what I'm talking about. Big up, Ben. Big up. Ben. Phil is in the house. He says, Letitia in the house. Excited to meet some of the Irish Hotspur family on Sunday. Whoop, whoop. I presume you're going to the game, so my man. Big up, Philip. I hope you do enjoy it, lad. I hope you do enjoy it. It would still be nice to have you for the preview, but let me know if you're around. If you're not, you're not. But do enjoy the game. We have Chris in the house as well. Big up, Chris. He's telling Philip to get better. Same as Aaron Dove is in the house, my man, telling Philip to get well soon. We also have Oliver Freeman. He says, good evening, lads. Looking forward to the weekend now. Exactly, my man. This is what we're talking about. How can you not look forward to the weekend? Big up, Oliver, my man. Chris Benoit is in the house. 1 week without Ketchup, and Kane already has 7 goals in 2 games. Absolutely love it, lad. I think I might call out Ketchup and Mayo. I'd probably be slim like Harry Kane. I'd probably end up, you know what I mean? I wouldn't mind that, so I might call out Ketchup and Mayo. The regulars in the house says, big up, everyone. Big up the regular. I hope you're keeping well, my man. I hope you're keeping well. Josh, the Tottenham guy, is in the house. He says, evening on. Big up, Josh. I hope you're keeping well, my man. It's good to see you in. Who else have we got? We've got GRL 58, evening, Jack and David, and Graham. Big yourself up, big yourself up. I think that's Coover, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. Brad Matthews in the house. Big up, Brad. We have still called Harry Kane only loves scoring small against small teams. Look, yeah, well, these are small teams, so hopefully he bangs in a couple against them. But big yourself up, my man. George is in the house. He says, big up the channel, my man, Georgie. I hope you're keeping well. Dave Tyson is always in, says, evening, big up, Davey boy. Hope you're keeping well. Vince Vega's back with us. He says, come on, you Spurs and Ireland, Ruggers and soccer. Exactly, my man. We bet the mighty New Zealand, and we're on the up in the football. Times are good, my man. Times are good. Derek Hutchinson is in the house. Says, don't get too excited by Kane. He scored 7 goals against shit opposition. No, look, you know, they're beating against poor teams, but at the end of the day, he's back. Spurs 72 with the super chat. Big yourself up, my man. Really appreciate the support. I hope you're keeping well as well. This evening, guys. Hope you are having a good day, Jack and David. Best streaming show on YouTube. Love it. Dinner time now. Back later. Keep up the great work. Before you go, Spurs 72, make me salivate. Tell me what is for dinner. Tell me what's on that big round plate, my man. I want to know what you're tucking into. But big yourself up. Go and enjoy it. No ketchup, no mayo. Jack, what do you want to say to Spurs 72?
I mean, definitely hide your mayo and your ketchup, Spurs 72. You only got to use it on special occasions, is what I would say, especially when maybe Antonio Conte isn't around the house. But just like Old Soul 53 is one of the best Harris Army in the business, David, when it comes to eating well. I know Spurs 72 is eating well, and also really appreciate the support as well, my man. And also, hopefully, you'll be enjoying this fan show. Got lots of different things to say. Probably the ketchup and the mayo probably won't be discussed fully at length, but maybe with certain ones it will. But Spurs 72, like always, it's good to see you, and thank you for joining us, and always big yourself up. Thank you for the support, my man.
Big up Spurs 72. What an absolute legend. Go and enjoy that dinner, my man. Go and enjoy that dinner. No matter what, I reckon it's a good one. I reckon you eat good, my man. But look, you know, Jack, maybe we have to go and maybe find out the science behind the ketchup and mayo. That's what we should do. You know what I mean?
Something in there, Dave. There's something in there.
There is. There has to be. We have to find out what the secret thing is, because loads of managers have done it, and it's particularly Italian managers as well. So it'll be very interesting.
Maybe they just prefer the marinara, Dave. Maybe the marinara is just better. Who knows?
Maybe they've just got some good barbecue
just
sauce over
jealous.
there. I
They're
didn't see
just jealous.
barbecue sauce being banned, so maybe they got some good barbecue sauce. Brian Dago says, good evening to you all. I hope everyone is doing very well. Philip Brady, wishing you better, mate. Big up, Brian. Big up. Can't wait to see
That
what you
time
have
of the
to
year.
say when you
It's
come
that
on, my
time of the
man.
year. It's that time of the year, the sickness starts to come in, some of the man flus, some of the bugs, start to get into us, Dave. So hopefully the Harris Army is keeping well. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Have a nice set of soup set to the side. A few Tylenols and whatnot. Make sure you're all doing okay.
And as well, Mr. Dager was sick as well. So, guys, wish him the best of health as well. I hope he's good. Kevin K says, big up, boys. Big yourself up, Kevin K. I hope you're keeping well, my man. And we have RAI. I'm hoping to see Harry Kane scoring goals for Spurs fans. I don't support England team, but I hope this gives him boost to score more. No, I hope so, my man. I do hope so. Hopefully, he is back. Hopefully, he can replicate in a Spurs jersey. And look, the game against Leeds at the weekend will be time to tell. That's all I can say there. Mr. K's in the house. Aye, Mr. K. It's good to see you, my man. You've been missing for a while. It's good to see you back in, brother. It's good to see you back in. And we have MS evening all. Where's the Italian flag, guys? Expectation is going through the roof. Not I dream of trophies. Jack, what would you say to MS?
Yeah, this is the thing, MS, I'm trying to negotiate something with the missus because, she's very particular with, what we have around the house, hanging on the walls. I kind of want an Antonio Conte kind of mirage probably right behind me, just Antonio Conte stuff that I can just, kind of worship to every night, David. You know how some of us, we kind of think of somebody before we go to bed. I'm probably dreaming of Antonio Conte. Probably need like an Antonio Conte teddy bear or something like that to sleep alongside me. So hopefully the missus will accept maybe an Italian flag, at least for the time being, behind me. Big yourself up, MS.
No, big up MS. And Spurs 72 is on steak. No ketchup or mayo. Maybe a bit of pepper sauce on that bad boy. But big yourself up, Spurs 72. Of course, he is eating well. Everybody, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you are new. If you do want to come on and have your say, simply, and you are a member, go to the community section. The link is up there. Just click on the link. It'll bring you in here and we'll get you on. As well, if you're not a member, why not grab that channel membership? It's a $5. You get a fan show every week. You could come on and have your say. And who knows, it could lead to greater things. As you know, we do like to get, from the fan show, get them on debate shows too. So why not get your membership, guys? And why not also help support the channel with a super chatter too? That's, of course, if you have it. We know Christmas is coming up. It's an expensive time of the year out there, especially for all you Randy Bunch with all those kids. We know how expensive it can be. Big families as well. So do not worry about it. If you can't, we do our best to get everybody's comments up on screen, get everybody included in the conversation. But look, if you do want to support us, all I'm going to say is it's a massive, massive help to any channel, any content creator out there. It's a massive, massive help. You have no idea with all the stuff behind the scenes and everything else. It really, really does help.
Or if there's a certain guest that you have, like a big, kind of fandom for, there's somebody that you always want to get your questions across for. Maybe it's for Chris, maybe it's for Brian Daigle. A lot of people I know love Philip. He won't be joining us. Maybe you have a big question for Brad or Coover that you've always wanted to ask, and then feel free to put it in a super chat because then they'll be put on the spot. They'll have to answer your question. And then that's probably the best way to go about it. I used to do that to Chris all the time. I made him, decide between the hardest things in the world. So I would definitely say if anybody wants to, maybe put a certain guest under pressure or just ask them a certain question of curiosity, feel free to throw it in a super chat and then they have to answer your question. So everybody, though, we will put your comments on screen as always, like David says, though, regardless.
And what I will say is don't let Chris off lightly either. He did put Ben Davies in his last starting lineup intentionally, so do not let him off light either. Do not let him off light either. Jay Greenham is in the house. He says, Kane hat-trick versus Leeds incoming. Yeah, look, I hope so. I hope so. He bangs them away, J-Boy. I really do. I can see it coming, J-Bone. But big yourself up, my man. I hope you're keeping well. But look, Jack, let's get on the first guest of the evening. And I do believe it's Dermot.
Correct.
Tottenham Tantrum. Dermot, big yourself up. How are you keeping, my man?
Good evening, lads. Yeah, I'm grand. Really grand. Good win yesterday for us against Luxembourg. Good way to end the campaign.
Yeah.
And a good win on Saturday with the rugby. So it's been a good weekend, actually.
Ah.
And a good Grand Prix yesterday. So I've had a good day of sports. So next Saturday, bring on Tottenham, beat Leeds. Next Sunday, beat Leeds, no problem.
Loving that. Definitely. So, do you feel like maybe going into maybe with the Harry Kane form that, I know we're not really ones to maybe be watching the England games, but the man is absolutely on fire right now, beating up on San Marino, Albania. Do you feel like he can carry that sort of form into maybe the Leeds match, Dermot?
Yeah, for what I've heard, yeah. I mean, I haven't watched them either. But for what I've heard, yeah, he should do. I mean, he's a paid top striker, so he should score every game. Can I just wish Philip hope he gets better soon, and he's a legend of this channel. So, Philip, if you're watching, I'll have that information for you, and I hope you feel better soon, as well as Brian as well.
Very nice.
Yeah, I think Kane will get in there on Sunday. I think now he's got Conte in charge, and he'll just go flying for it.
Do you feel like Conte, he's already had his plans set aside for Harry Kane? He's been working with a lot of other players that, weren't there on international duty, but do you feel like maybe the way he's probably been working with players like Tanguy, maybe other players like that, in the lineup, maybe even potentially kind of like, certain center backs as well, like an Eric Dyer, do you feel like maybe certain players might be improved?
I think the players that have stayed there might improve.
Yeah.
But he's a bit like a secret agent. He's gone in there to weed out the baddies. Right? He's a bit like an Italian James Bond, and he's gone in there to weed out the baddies, right? And he's going to get Levy and put him in the bin somewhere. And we're going to take him with the dustbin, we'll take him away. But Levy's 400 million. We need that, but Levy can go. But I think the players coming back might get a shock. But you can't teach Dyer or Winks how to play football because they were useless to begin with. So you can't really teach them. So, but I think the rest of the squad, Doherty, Tango and players like that will improve. And as well as Nombele as well. I mean, he's going to be off the catch-up, so he's going to get even better.
Supposedly, he's in the best shape of, his Tottenham career, according to, certain reports as well, Tanguy and Ndombele. Do you feel like this could be true? Do you feel like, last season, to a degree, he was in decent shape, by the looks of it? Do you feel like we might just see a whole new Tanguy? I know that's maybe high hopes, maybe too high of hopes, but will we be seeing a whole new Tanguy?
I hope so. I really do.
Hard to know.
I hope so. I think he might get distracted by the burgers again if he's walking down the Tottenham High Road and he sees a McDonald's or a Burger King. He might think, I can have it. It'd be like Homer Simpson. I can have it go, donuts. So you're going to donuts now. That's what he started doing.
Do you know what, Dermot? For me, look, he'll always be Endom Ladas until he kind of proves otherwise. But apparently, it's the fittest he's ever been at Tottenham right now. What do you make of that?
He's scared shit of Conte, isn't he? That's what it is, basically. He's scared shit of him. I mean, you look at Conte, and if we were to walk in, right, and especially me, I mean, I'm a bit overweight. If I looked at Conte, I'd be scared shit. I'd be doing whatever. I'd be down on the floor. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do for you. Tonga's probably gone under the first day, and he's thinking, be fine. And, he's berated them for the vending machines, and McDonald's is giving them a dressing down, and the Tonga's going, oh, Jesus, I bet there was some told here. And
come here, another player I do want to ask you on, Dermot.
Yeah.
Is Romero. Stats say he's the best centre-back in Europe right now. Is he?
Yeah. He's Argentinian. He's a beast. He reminds me of a footballing version of Mike Tyson. He'll go in there and he'll knock you flying. And he'll keep knocking you flying. He's a genius. He's the best thing we've ever bought. Get another defender next to him. With Emerson and Reggie on the other side, we'll have the best defence in town. And get a decent goalkeeper to take over from Hugo. We'll have the best foundations going. I mean, he's the best defender in Europe. He's the best defender in the world for me at the moment. Nobody will come near him.
Man's absolutely on fire, at least when it comes to the stats. And honestly, as well, he hasn't really, maybe apart from maybe the first game or two, hasn't really put too much of a foot wrong. The guy's honestly been a saving grace. I don't know what I would do if we didn't have Romero this season. Kind of like what I felt probably about Hojbjerg last season as well. I don't know what we would have done without Hojbjerg. Probably with Romero, I feel even stronger about it. Honestly, I couldn't get that number 4 kit any sooner. Probably it's going to be on top of the wish list on the Christmas list from Santa. The truth sets free, though, saying, my brother's from another mother. God bless you as well. True sets free.
Thank you.
Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. And also as well, Yeah, maybe we'll just see it as well, David. Brothers from another mother. It definitely does feel that way every single week. We're getting true sets free, definitely a whole lot better. It's nice, definitely discussing, and talking with you, getting to know you better through email and whatnot. True sets free. Also, hope all is well with you, especially down Massachusetts way. Also, maybe hopefully, you're not experiencing the very, very cold, horrible weather that's now coming up New York's way. Because I will say right now, David, it's a bit too cold for me. It's getting a bit worse for wear over here.
No, look, big up the truth set you free, my man. Really appreciate the support. And look, I have got your email. I will get back to you. Look, I was away the last couple of days. You kind of had to do a few jobs on my sister's car, getting it ready and trying to get it through the NCT and stuff like that, which is basically a certificate to say that it's roadworthy and stuff like that for anyone that doesn't know what it is. And so I've just been busy doing that, but I will get back to you this evening, my man. But big up the truth set you free, and I hope you're keeping well. Hope you enjoyed the Ireland win yesterday as well, my man.
Yeah, that's right. Big up
Coover 99. He says 10-0 is like watching David and Jack losing at FIFA. Well, Jack, I'm not being funny. We're going to have to put this right now. I feel like as soon as we finish this, we're just going to have to get on and put it right. Honestly, Coover's going to be
disrespect.
He's me into playing FIFA now.
Honestly, the disrespect, David, because it's like, David, we're kind of, we're busy guys, Dave. We don't really play as much as we used to, which is very true. We're honestly too busy because, David, as well as, keeping up with everything on the channel, we have, missuses, to take care of as well, dinner to have, as well, even we barely have time to brush our teeth, it feels like anymore. And then we still have to get in the FIFA games because, at the end of the day, we love to do some FIFA. We took a bit of a break, we started off, cold, but it felt like everybody tuned out the moment we got hot, Dave. It felt like they all tuned out when we got hot. And also as well, everybody, we made it to Division 2 like that. We made it like that. So I don't even know, Dave, feels like there's a bit of disrespect in the house. We're playing against Division 2 teams, playing against Division 2 PSG sides, playing with Spurs. I don't know, Dave, just the disrespect. Seriously, feel free to challenge us because, get a partner on your side. Feel free to challenge us. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be saying the same thing. But big up, Coover. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Give yourself up.
Big up. Coover's going off to play FIFA tomorrow now. He's going to practice now, Jack.
Calling out John Fitzpatrick as well if he's watching as well, because I saw John giving us a bit of disrespect the other night as well. But big up yourself as well, John. Big yourself up, man.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Dermot, Leeds at the weekend. What do you want to see differently from this Tottenham team now going forward into the next 5 fixtures?
I think more attacking. I think more to be determined, to be more on the front foot. I think we need to dominate teams. We haven't been dominating teams, and also pass forward, not backwards. If you got the ball, get it to Herberg or Skip, then get it forward. Just keep going the front foot, because if you're on the back foot, you're inviting pressure onto yourself. We need to pressure onto teams, and Leeds, we should be able to do that in the next 5 fixtures, and then we've got the quarterfinals then of the League Cup then in December as well. So we need to start pressuring teams and do it the Tottenham way, because we have not been doing that for a very long time. Really haven't. So we need to do it, and I think we will. I think we will. I think Kane will come back. I think Herberg's injured, I think. So I don't know if he's got a knock, so I don't know if he'll be available for Sunday. It depends how badly he was. And also Son had a knock as well, but I think he's okay now. I think he was playing. I know Dark Son G can tell us, but I think he's all right now. But I think we'll win. We'll win 4-0 Sunday. I'm very confident of that.
Yeah.
4-0.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think we're going to unleash? You think we're going to finally, open up on the team?
Yeah, we're going to open up on the team, and Conte's going to have us so revved up before we get out there. He's going to play the Italian anthem. He's going to play the Italian 90 theme song. Get us all revved up. We're going to go out there high-fiving each other, talking to each other in Italian. Really up there, revved up and going.
Hopefully, maybe also.
We'll have Pavarotti belting out of the changing rooms. We're going to really get at them. Leeds be quivering in their dressing room, thinking we don't want to go out. We're staying in here, and they'll forfeit the match.
Hopefully on Sunday, after the 4-0 win, Dermot will all be making carbonara, practicing our Italian Rosetta Stone, and everything, definitely so. Definitely so. I would love to see that, especially, with Leeds, they are kind of up for the taking in a way. They play very progressive football, but it does kind of expose themselves, maybe coming into our own stadium as well. I do believe we're playing at home, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like, has to be a big one for us. And also a lot of players have to show up, not only Kane. I feel like, if Tanguy were to play, he has to show up. Højbjerg's been a bit out of form recently. It'd be nice to see him have a good game. Reguilon didn't have the best display last, match as well. No. So nice to see him show up. Certainly, I really do agree with that. I definitely want to see some of our bigger players maybe kind of, kind of replenish or, kind of make up for maybe the somewhat poor display that I feel like a lot of them had against Everton. So hopefully we'll just see a whole different Spurs.
They always a performance, to be fair.
Yeah.
After the start we've had this season, after 10 games, they're always a performance. So this should be the start of it now. We should win the next 5 games. If we don't, I'll be very disappointed. I think we should win the next 5 games, and then that will get us up the league and get us there, get us going again, and then kick on then for the League Cup, and then kick on for the second half of the season.
I know Dark Sun G would agree with that. He wanted to see 15 points.
Yeah, the quadruple is on. I agree with Coover. The quadruple is on.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Oh, I absolutely love the optimism, my man. I absolutely love the optimism. Big up the truth sets you free. He says this one is for the legend Ben Kaufman. Had the line of the month on 4 Hotspurs. He said we need a I can't say that just yet, in the middle of the park, who won't take shit. Someone who can create and score a few goals. Couldn't agree more. Ben Kaufman, look, he's a good lad. He brings good energy and good vibes. We love chatting to him, Jack.
No, I mean, Ben Kaufman, I know he's probably a bit like Coover, maybe in a way. He's probably a bit of a fan of the dark arts. He wants somebody in there that, won't be able to take anything from anyone, be able to stand up for, the squad, be able to, be right in the middle of a scrum, if something happened, the person that, wouldn't be able to back down to anybody. Maybe a bit of kind of a, I don't even know, like kind of a bit of a, maybe a Graham Roberts or, something like that, or, even a bit of a Perryman, as well, probably someone that, would be willing to basically get into any sort of fight or scruffle, so that they wouldn't, they would just stand up for the players, stand up for the squad, especially after some of the tackles that the Everton players were putting on us, someone that, would be able to stand up for us, just somebody that, wouldn't be able to take shit from anybody. So definitely agree. And also Ben Kaufman is very quick and to the point. He definitely knows how to, just be, very direct, and that's the type of fan you want to talk to sometimes, David, because he just gives you the straight answers, no BS or anything.
No, absolutely love it, 100%. Ben, he's all about getting the work done. There's no niceties with Ben. He just wants the job done. Moondog says, "Good evening, lads. Anyone want to buy some ketchup?"
There's probably Mayo Black Market or something, over at the club, like David said. They're probably groundskeepers and maybe support staff that are sneaking in ketchup packets, maybe selling them for 300% profit. Got to probably have everybody go through, instead of a metal detector, a ketchup scanner, and a Mayo scanner, so nobody's sneaking anything into Tanguy.
I got Phil going down on Sunday with a bag of supplies of ketchup for the Tottenham players. We're going to wait the ketchup, just give them out to them quietly.
You see the physio coming on and giving them ketchups as a quick energy boost. Little sachet as a ketchup. No, but Moondog, look, you're probably selling them double the price, my man. Double the price. Big up, Moondog. That's brilliant. Dermot, what I do want to get your opinions on, though, my man.
Yeah.
You obviously seen the financial fair play study stream we done the other day.
What's
your thoughts on
it? What Philip read out, I was fuming. I'll be honest with you, I was embarrassed and I was absolutely very angry. I mean, we're a big club, and to give himself a 7 million pay rise or pay rise for building a stadium is disgusting. I mean, he wanted to fall on the people that work for him. I mean, they should be able to do that themselves. I think, okay, you can have one people say, "Oh yes, we're being run brilliantly. We've got money in the bank." Well, there's no point in having money in the bank if you don't buy the right place for it. He had the money at the time to back Poch. He didn't. He had the money to back Jose. He didn't. And look where we ended up with a mediocre manager and wasted 10 games. Levy has a hell of a lot to answer for, and the sooner that bald-headed git gets out of my club, the better. Because I don't want him there. I don't want Enid there. I don't want Levy there. I want a chairman who's going to come in and supply the manager with enough money to buy players to make us successful. Not to be great in the on the sheets that you do in the boardroom, on the pitch. That's what we pay our hard money for. There's fans 62,000 a week or whatever paying hard-nosed money go and watch Tottenham play. We deserve better. And if that bald-headed git is taking 7 million out, he should be putting that back in now. And an apology for taking it in the first place.
And come here, what do you make on, you say about, backing the managers and stuff like that. What do you make of the 85.9 million spent on sacking managers in the Premier League era?
That's disgraceful. That man couldn't pick a needle out of a haystack. He couldn't pick a chicken, a right chicken and a band of bad chickens. Do you know, he goes for the quick fix all the time. We should have left it with Poch and left it there. Got him in. Poch would be still managing for the next 15 years if he was backed right. Do you know, that man's wasted so much money and he thinks he's clever. Jesus, my 5-year-old cousin could run Tottenham better than he can. And he knows, to supply the manager with the tools for his job. Will you please go, Levy? For fuck's sake, get out of my club now, because if you don't, I'll go and drag you out myself. Put you in the dustbin and take you away.
It did feel like he was just paying a manager every single time to wave a magic wand to, see if he can just do the same, do something different with the same players. And, it is kind of crazy to, expect that a manager can somehow, perform miracles with some of the dross that we've had at our club at this time.
When are the managers going to wake up? The players we've got are useless. Some of them. Dyer he's doing Van Halen for Newcastle. You think he had the guitar in his hand? Half the team are useless. Easy pass. Winks couldn't pass a ball if you gave it to him straight. You got other players as well that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Levy's the biggest tight ass going. He opens his wallet and there's an earthquake because he never does it. And
Comes every 10 years like an earthquake.
That volcano that erupted in La Palma, that was Levy opening his checkbook. He's got to. I just want him out. I know we've been doing this now. Brian has been going on this thing, but we've got to get him out. This has got to keep going. I am sick to death of Levy and Enoch. I don't care if we have 400 million to spend. I'd rather we have 20 million to spend, but spent the 4 million.
I will clarify, and look, we said this a number of times during the show as well. It doesn't necessarily mean we have 400 million to spend. What it means is we can spend up to 400 million in one window if we wanted to, and we wouldn't breach financial fair play. Now, look, I would say there's probably 150, maybe 200 million there.
Yeah.
But that's with, if Levy and Enoch wanted to put more money in, to put in an extra 100 million or an extra 200 million, they can.
They wouldn't get in trouble for it.
They should be doing that, though. They should be putting money into our football club. It's a football club. It's not a business. It's a football club. Birkinshaw once said there was once a football club over there. My Jesus, was he right? And he said that back in the 80s.
Oh,
if Bill Nick was around now, if Birkinshaw, if even Arthur Rowe, who won us our first league championship, if he saw the state of Tottenham, the three of them would be turning in their graves.
Definitely so.
Because we're not a business. We're a club. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club is for the fans. It was built for the fans, made for the fans, for the fans. It's not for Levy and Enoch to pocket their own line and pockets and buy more super jets or more big boats or another house in Miami. It's for the fans, built for the fans, for the fans. Until the rest of these fans that realise that are Levy realise what they're doing, then they'll realise. But Enoch and Levy have to get out, and I want them out.
What would you say to the fans that are maybe in the middle, Dermot, where they're kind of like, look, they've got in Conte, let's sit back and see what happens, see where it goes. What would you say?
We got a Mourinho. He said the same thing then. Here's Mourinho. We're going to win stuff. We get to a final. He sacks him 6 days for a final. I've actually found information about that, but I'll tell you privately about that. You two. But it has to do with a clause and the European Super League. Those same two things. You know, that man, he drives me mad. I love my club. I love Tottenham Hotspur. Have done since before I was born. You know, it's a gene in me.
Yeah.
But I will not stand by it and watch a bald-headed git ruin our club and just make it into a business. It's not a business, it's a football club.
Yeah.
And as soon as these fans realise, and I can understand some fans, oh, Conte's in, that's great, we'll win stuff. You know, what about the 20 years before that?
Yeah.
What about the time when they were investing when Sugar was in charge?
Yeah.
Buying up all the shares off everyone.
Yeah.
Do you know, what about then? Do you know, they came in 91 as an investor to Sugar to help us buy the club from Scholar. The dirty, rotten bees have been in there since then.
Well, they took advantage of the club when the club was at its lowest, when you kind of think about it. But
yeah.
Dermot, you've spoken a lot of truth tonight. You know, anywhere else that, you know, maybe give yourself a plug, you know, where else can people find a bit of this truth that you've spoken tonight? Where else can people find you?
I'm on Twitter on Tottenham Tantrum, where you'll find everything from Tottenham to Harry Kane to Daddy Ali's latest tweet trying to top his hat to someone, or Harry Winks trying to find Newcastle and bringing Dele in line with his mini. So you find me there. I'm also on Tottenham Tantrum Gold. We're doing a show tomorrow night, 6:30. We're doing the 1974-75 Tottenham versus Leeds.
Ooh.
No, we're doing Tottenham versus Chelsea relegation battle, the Battle of Lane. Whoever wins goes down. That's tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're doing Tottenham versus Leeds on Tottenham Central Gold. But please, everyone, subscribe here. Get the likes in. Get the super chats in. Get these guys up to 5,000. I wouldn't be doing my channel if it wasn't for these two lads. And so please, everyone, just do what you can. Let's get them to 5K before the 21st. And
Appreciate
subscribe and tell your mother, your father, your grandfather, even to find David Bowie on Mars. Tell him. Get everyone to subscribe to the best Giro in town.
Just before you go, Dermot, give me 1 second. I'll just get this one before we lose it. And then there is one for you. The Truth Sets You Free says, this is for the Wolves fan in the chat. The guy sees me everywhere supporting Spurs on chats. Ask him. He's really witty and smart and a legend. Nah, big up. I appreciate that. Big up the Wolves fan. Big up the Wolves. A good following of Wolves fans in Ireland, actually, to be fair to them. I don't know why, but there is. But big yourself up. The Truth Sets You Free. What an absolute legend. I think this would be for you as well.
Yeah.
Dermot Moondog says, do you guys think we will be spending 150 million?
Yeah. I think Conte's got his shopping list out already. It's like going to Harrods for him. He'll be going down to Harrods there, bringing Levy's credit card with him, and, you know, I want this player, that player. And also Holberg, he will come back. Everyone's saying, and like Josh saying, he won't fit into Conte's plan. And we're doing a lot of looking and a lot of thinking. He will come good again. So he will fit into Conte's plan. He's our Graham Roberts of now.
Dermot Moondog also says Levy is Ebenezer Scrooge's love child.
I would say that's true. And also, yeah, that is very true. You know.
That's brilliant. And the Truth Sets You Free says, Dermot, if you had a Mac and one more to you, would you be a McDermott like a few people I know? You are a legend.
Yeah, I would be. I've been called a few things in my time, but McDermott's a good one.
McDermott.
Absolutely love it. Well, look, Dermot, thank you very much, my man, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, see you, lads. Thank you very much indeed. God bless you.
Well
God
done,
bless
sir.
you. See you,
well
Dermot. Absolute legend. Absolute legend, guys. Do get over there and check out Tottenham Tantrum Gold. But big up the Truth Sets You Free. Really appreciate the support, my man. And Moondog. What absolute legends. Oliver Freeman, he says, surely Conte would have never come in if he wasn't promised proper backing. We never hired a manager on top of his game like this. Surely it's different this time. Jose was sacked twice before arriving. Jack, I'll let you give your quick thoughts on it, and then I'll come in off the back.
Yeah, I think what I maybe might address is just like, it felt like maybe we all thought that, you know, we all know that Jose should have been backed, but I feel like with Antonio Conte, you know, he needs to be backed. He's just a guy that just comes with guarantees. He's not somebody that, has probably played for a fool. I think he's a bit too smart for that. I think also his reputation precedes him, where we all know that he comes with, definitely demands. He comes with assurances. So I think that maybe more or less guarantees that we will have, a decent bit of coin to be able to spend this upcoming winter window, as well as obviously this summer window as well. So I do feel like I am quite confident there will be plenty of money spent. I'd probably put, plenty of money on it that will happen. And that's just because, like I said, he comes with guarantees. He comes with assurances, Antonio Conte. In the case of Jose, you might argue that Jose he was there to, do something differently than Poch, be a bit different than Poch, but Jose at the same time, was a bit on the fall. He wasn't the same Jose was before. So maybe you might say his situation in terms of money guaranteed was a bit different than Conte's. And I think Levy maybe has learned his lesson in terms of just expecting managers, like I say, just to wave a magic wand and just fix, all the problems there are without investing in the squad. And I feel like Antonio Conte is just a whole different situation. It's a whole different story. And let's just sit back, relax, and maybe watch some of these beautiful players like a Dusan Vlahovic come in all over. Big yourself up.
Yeah, no, and look, for me, I'll be honest with you, I don't see Conte risking his reputation unless he was promised money. Because look, he probably could have hung around for the United job or another big job in time. He didn't necessarily have to jump and take the Tottenham job. So for me, and plus he's at the very top of his game. He doesn't strike me as a man that's going to let a club ruin his reputation if the things aren't right. Because if he comes into a club, he's promised things and it doesn't deliver, he walks. So at the end of the day, he doesn't let clubs mess him about. And for me, I think he has to have been promised the money to be coming in. Look, he would have already, he may be sitting there saying, yeah, this player, that player, I see a future with this player. He doesn't see a future for all of them. He already has positions where he knows where he wants to strengthen, players that he knows he wants to bring in to help implement his philosophy and style. So I'd say he knows the money. He's been promised that the money is there. And I agree with you. We've never hired a manager really at the very top of his game. I do believe this time is different. I agree with you, Oliver. But again, January will tell. January will tell all whether they put the money out there, whether they put. Look, I can take if they put in money for players and it's genuinely just not back because the club are not interested, because the other club are not interested because they can't find a replacement. I'll accept that. But what I can't accept is just them not putting the money out there on the table to be able to get in what we need to get in under an Antonio Conte. But Oliver Freeman, big yourself up. Great talk.
Great comment. Great comment.
Really appreciate the support, brother. Absolutely love it. Big yourself up. Paul Markey says Davies 5 million, Dyer 15 million, 37 million, Winks 15 million, Bergwijn 15 million, Dele 20 million. Sell these waste of space players, and there's 70 million to spend on 2 decent players. I'll be honest with you, for me, Paul Markey, I think that'll get you one decent, maybe / world-class midfielder.
That pays for Dusan right there.
Yeah, it does.
That pays for Vlahovic right there. Vlahovic is supposedly like 60 million, I think, or something like that is the guaranteed, way that he would be leaving. I think if you pay 60 million, he's basically in the door. With Davies, 5 million, I would feel like anybody that pays over 10 million pounds, if not 10 pounds for Harry Winks is certainly a very generous soul. And I would say, David, any club that takes Harry Winks off our hands probably might become my second favorite club, just because of the charity and the generosity that they would show us. Dele Alli for 20 million actually seems fair. It's hard to know what even Dele Alli's price is anymore. Bergwijn for 15 million seems to make sense. That's basically half of what we originally paid for. I think these are actually all pretty fair estimates, except for Paul Markey. The Winks one, maybe you just meant 15 pounds. So, but big yourself up, Paul Markey. Definitely. So really appreciate it. And also, I couldn't agree more, especially if we had 70 million to spend. Also consider all the wages as well, Paul Markey, that would be off the books. I mean, Davies is 80 grand a week. Dyer, I think, is more than 100 grand a week. Doherty is close to 100 grand a week. Winks is 100 grand a week. Bergwijn is making enough money to be able to spend on a Rolls Royce the moment he got into the club. And then Dele Alli, we all know, gets a haircut every single day with probably, $80, $90 haircuts every single week, David. So think about that, plenty of wages we could get off the books with that as well. So be honestly perfect.
No, it'd be an ideal scenario. It really will. Look, I do think you might see 2 or 3 of them shipped down in January maybe, but honestly, I think Davies and Dyer are here till the summer. I'll be honest with you. I really do think they're here for the summer. I think, look, Winks, Dele, I think he could be looking to maybe ship them on and bring in that midfielder. Maybe Doherty as well, who knows? Although, I don't know, we'll wait and see there. But look, even if you can ship on Dele and Winks, there's 35 million and another 35 to it. For me, go and get yourself that world-class midfielder, that ball-playing midfielder that will tie everything we have here together. That's what I would do with it, Paul Markey. But big yourself up. Really appreciate the support. Great talking point, my man. What an absolute legend. We just have 2 more to get to, and then we bring on the Brad Matthews himself. Says Moondog says, just as important, we need the Deadwood out. I could not agree more, Moondog. They have to go. They have to go. Look, there's no point in just keep getting rid of a manager, bringing in another manager, expecting a different result. We've already had 4 managers now at this stage, and half of them still can't be asked. So, you know what I mean? It comes to a point where you just have to say, you know, a third is a third. It's not a piece of gold, you know.
It's Deadwood too, though, because Deadwood too also is holding us back from signing more players. When you think about it, we have to get the Deadwood out before we can even bring in good players, and that's also the problem with Deadwood. It's kind of a double whammy where, you know, you have to play them because they're there, but also because, you know, they're holding back us from signing better players. So you just have to get it out, David. You just got it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. We just have a lot of Band-Aids to rip off at the moment.
Yeah, no, we definitely do. And the truth sets you free, says Adele. Belting out glory, Tottenham Hotspur on social media 2 weeks ago. Check it out. Just brilliant. Big up Adele. No, I have. Look, I'll be honest with you. I actually like Adele's music. You know, I used to dance Adele's songs back in the day. You know what I mean? And look, it's great that she's a Spurs fan. You know, she's a Yido just like us, and that's what we want, my man. You know, there's a few more people out there. I believe I think John Cena could be a Spurs fan. I think. Who else have we got? We've got AJ Tracy, of course. You know, he's a Spurs fan, Tottenham boy. You know, there's a few of them out there. What's that billionaire guy everyone talks about? Bezos, or is it Bezos? There's loads of them out there, you know. There's absolutely loads of them out there. Or Elon Musk, is that it? Elon Musk?
I'm not sure. Maybe it is Bezos. But at least, you know, how could you not love Adele? You know, brilliant music, brilliant singer, one of the best out there. She took a big break from it as well, from singing, you know, just, you know, to be able to just kind of relax, enjoy your life and whatnot. And now she's also, as we all know, a big Spurs fan as well. And she gave that big absolute peach of a song as well, Dave. So I would say, you know, how could you not love Adele? Big yourself up, though. Big yourself up.
Exactly, Jack. How could you not, my man? A big up Adam Road to 5K is on, my man. Look, let's keep cracking on. Let's keep soldiering on. Let's bring on the next guest. He's another channel legend. Everyone loves listening to him. It's Brad Matthews. Brad Matthews, your 15 minutes to shine, my man. Take it away.
How you going? But before we start with the hilarity, just a couple of points, just a couple of serious notes. First of all, Philip, I hope you get better if you're still watching. And also, earlier today, a Tottenham fan tweeted. It was a picture of him with his mates in a pub or whatever, and one of his mates had his arm around him, and he said, this was taken a week ago, and the guy with his arm around me committed suicide, and he never mentioned it whatsoever, never talked about it. If only he'd have talked about it. So what I just want to say is that the YouTube community that I've met both online and in person are absolutely a wonderful, wonderful community, and they've given me so much love. So there are people out there. If you're in trouble, if you've got problems, there are so many of us out there to talk to. So please, if you have got problems, please talk to people, whether it be us on YouTube or your friends. Please do it. Please. So that's that serious point I wanted to get over there.
I just want to come in on the back of that as well, Brad. Look, it's something. Look, you know, Brian Daigle is one out there. He advocates it. Look, you know, I always throw out there as well. I always say to people, never feel lonely, never feel down, never feel like you don't have an ear to listen, because you know, like me and Jack are always saying, the emails are always open, our social medias are always open, guys. Do get in contact. You know, it prevents all this sort of stuff. You know, sometimes you just need someone that can talk to or someone that can help you. Get in contact with us. All do our best. You know what I mean? So please do get in contact. If there's nothing we can do for you, we can put you in contact with the right people and stuff like that. So please do get in contact.
Don't think you're alone.
Don't be afraid don't be afraid of seeking help, or don't be afraid to give help and offer help.
And as well, it stays. You know, we're not gonna, you know, shout it out over YouTube or anything like that. It's completely anonymous. You know what I mean? People have already used. You know, I've gotten contact and stuff like that. It remains completely anonymous between me and the person, between Jack and the person, Brad and the person, whoever it is. So do not hesitate. Yeah.
But so that's what I wanted to say. Now onto the hilarity. I just want to just show the flat cut army summer for the Irish Hotspur. Once we get the summer, the old sun hats come out, the old cockerel on there.
Maybe if you were doing a bit of fishing as well, maybe fishing for a few players in the transfer market.
But for now, because it's winter, the flat cap stays on. So Yeah, I was just listening to was it Dermot or someone talking about people being scared of Conte and losing weight, being scared of Conte. I'll tell you what, I'm going to lose weight, and I'm only a supporter. Just go to the ground. I'm going to be scared of him as well. I'm going, look, I've lost weight, sort of thing. But I have to say, this is probably the most excited I've felt as a Spurs fan for a long time with Conte and what he's been saying. We all joke about the ketchup and that, but yeah, that's good. That's really, really good to get them fit, to have a healthy eating way. I mean, these are sportsmen. These are professional athletes that get paid a lot of money. They should be doing this,
right?
You know, and the fact that just small things like having their lunch together, building that team spirit, that camaraderie, which we haven't really had probably since Pochettino. But I think that's really, really good. I'm really optimistic. Okay, we may not win the league this season. We may not even get top 4, but I think the signs are good that if this guy who knows what he's doing, and he also has done it before, so he can say that what he says in the dressing room will come across better because he's done it before. So I'm really hopeful. Now it's down to see how we back him in January and in the summer. That is going to be the big point. I wouldn't even like to guess what's going to happen in January. I really wouldn't. I tend to think that players won't be on their way out until the summer. I think it'll take him a while to know who he wants. I mean, it took Pochettino a season to work out his team. So Conte's only got half a season, and he's only, with the international break, he's only had 2 or 3 training sessions, and then they all went off on the international break. But hopefully they were doing their homework, their fitness homework when they're out there. So we shall see when they all come back to training. But what do you reckon, guys? Are you happy? Are you looking forward to this?
Oh, I'm absolutely buzzing, Brad.
I love that he got his full staff. You know, he was even in that one video. We heard him even listing off all those stuff. He was one's for strength, one's for like something mentality, another one's for like tactics, another one's for certain training methods.
That's the modern game. That's modern sport. This is how I was talking earlier on Let's Talk Tottenham. Clive Woodford, who took England to the Rugby World Cup, he had a peripheral vision expert to train them in peripheral vision to see what's going on around them.
Wow, yeah.
Just little things like that, and you add them all up. This is what could make the difference between winning and losing. So I mean, it's really, really good. It's interesting in that video, that one where he's round the table talking about this bloke does this bloke does that. That was shot on the Monday morning. Now, Nuno must have been sacked on the Sunday because it wasn't official till Monday morning. So that must have been on its, that contract must have been sorted out, before, because it looked like
similar to Mourinho then, sorted out kind of ahead of time.
It certainly didn't. It didn't look to me like he was saying, "I want this, I want that." It was like he's explaining what his backroom staff does. So I find that very
why each one is important. Yeah. This one's for slapping out the ketchup packets out of their hand. This one's for.
But and Kane, the thing about someone earlier was saying, Kane's only scoring against bad opposition. Well, put it this way: we beat Albania 5-0. We beat San Marino 10-0. If Kane had scored a goal in each game, they'd all be on at him for not scoring more. So he's on a, he can't win. If he scores 4, like he did today, and the hat-trick, it's only weak opposition. But if he scores 1 or 2, it's like, we should have scored more. So, so you can't win. So I think it's good for the confidence. And I wouldn't mind putting some money on him scoring another hat-trick against Leeds on
a hat-trick.
Yeah.
Tasty hat-trick.
It's sort of one of those, he's been breaking a load of records today. And I just wonder whether if there's a record of scoring 2 hat-tricks.
How far is he off England's all-time scorer record?
Yeah, he's
4 or 5 goals or something away from Wayne Rooney, right?
He needs one more to equal top second, I think. I'm not sure, is it Bobby Charlton? So he's well on his way to becoming England's best ever goal scorer, definitely. But he broke the most. He scored the most goals for an English player in a calendar year, a record that's been going for 113 years. So another record to Kane's boot, and I'm hoping that he's got the World Cup out of the way now. He was annoyed or down because we didn't win the European Championship. Now he's got the World Cup, qualified for the World Cup. He can put it now in his back pocket and worry about that in December when the Qatar World Cup goes ahead. So hopefully when he plays on Sunday, he'll be totally focused on Tottenham Hotspur. And hopefully we'll see the results, and we'll see Kane prove how the world class player he is.
Love to hear that. Speaking of players that probably were only focused on Tottenham Hotspur, Brad, maybe some of the players that, didn't have any international duty at all, weren't called up to their national teams, with Antonio Conte, maybe some of them were, the Eric Dyers of the world, the Tanguy and Dumbeles of the world. Do you feel like maybe we might see an improvement in maybe a certain few players in our side? Even I believe Sessegnon, is kind of coming back from injury as well. Probably he was kind of training, somewhat lightly. What do you maybe make of maybe the extended period of time that they've had to work under Antonio?
I'm hoping so. I still think he'll need more time to get it together, because it's difficult sort of training half the team, certainly tactically anyway, but certainly on strength and fitness. Yeah, I think that week or 2 weeks will make a difference, and you've just got to hope that he will have an influence on players like Doherty, like Sessegnon, like Davies, like Dyer. I mean, I'm not saying they should be in our first 11, but if you can have half decent backup, at least for this season, before we can sort of start strengthening, it can only be a good thing, And I was just saying earlier with Doherty, he's a wing back. He's never played wing back for Tottenham that I can think of. So if you're based on the wing-back situation, you've got two, Everson and Reguilon, and you potentially got Doherty and Sessegnon as decent backup. So, so that could work as well. And Vlahovic, I hope we go for him. I don't think all this talk about, we don't need a backup strike, or he won't play without, with Kane in the team. No, this is what big teams do, what good teams do. Yeah. They buy decent players, so you've got a choice, It's no coincidence that a lot of the teams that win with a good squad, so you have to have these players. So I hope they do go for it.
It's always about picking who's in form, even at the same time, because that's, in the case Harry Kane, has been in form for 5-6 seasons straight. But let's say during this period where he wasn't, playing as the normal heights that he was, it would have been nice to maybe have someone, be able to just come in for him, because that's the thing, is that we've just been relegated to not having anybody else. Yeah. And we know no one else would do a better job than Harry Kane, when Harry Kane isn't at his best. And so it is good to have someone else come in. And also think about it as well. It's the same thing with, Chelsea. Chelsea brought in Timo Werner. They weren't satisfied with him. They bring in Lukaku. Now those guys have been competing for the same spot. You look at plenty of other teams in, world football as well. They always have the PSG, I think, is the worst example, but, but there are plenty of teams that, just have, look at even, Man United. The fact that Cavani, I thought, had a pretty decent season for Man United. They still bring in Ronaldo. And now Cavani's, there to come in whenever they think they need a bit of extra strikers reinforcement. So it's not ridiculous to, ask two world-class players to compete for the same position. World-class players are world-class players because they win the position.
And if you're a world-class player, you're going to say, well, I'm going to make that position mine. You're not going to say, oh, Kane's better than me, or Kane's not going to say, oh, I'm not going to play anymore because Vlahovic is better than me. It's like, well, I've got a player now that I've got to compete with. And also, it gives you an option of playing the two up front, and also you can rest players. It means that you're not relying on Kane and Son all the time. You can rest Son and bring Vlahovic in, or you can rest Kane. It gives you options. It gives you ways to change games. And we've always moaned about our managers not changing games. Well, now we've got a manager that probably would change games. I mean, we all remember the formation change after the 3-0 loss at Arsenal that he did, and they went on an unbeaten run. I think they ended up losing 3 games for the whole season and winning the title. So, you have these options. So I'm looking forward more so than I think I think you put it good with Mourinho. With Mourinho was like a spent force when we got him. I thought Mourinho was spent at Man United. So when all this talk about we got Mourinho, we're going to win things. Well, I think those days are gone. Whereas with Conte, he's at the top of his game. He's on
nothing to lose.
Yeah. Exactly. And you look at Mourinho when Mourinho was at the top of his game and going to Inter and winning the Champions League with them, and what he did. Well, we're getting that with Conte now, and hopefully it'll have some effect. I'm not saying we're going to go and win the title, but as long as we can challenge for it, that'd be great. I mean, when we had the title-winning seasons or the challenges, the other teams were rebuilding. Your Liverpools were rebuilding. Your Man Cities were rebuilding. So it was only we were down to us and Leicester, and then us and Chelsea. It's probably a bit different now. And next season you'll have 5 or 6 teams that are capable of winning. But hey, let's go for it. You just never know. We're due for something good. We're due for some good luck. We're due for to win these big games.
Certainly earned it. We've certainly earned, a bit of good favor.
Exactly.
Well said. Moondog here with the super chat, Brad, and he's saying we could have a deal on the Deadwood, buy one get one free. It'd be kind of like maybe when David and I we see a deal, at the grocery store for Ben and Jerry's. You just basically stock up. You could see, well, if I buy 3 Deadwoods, I could get 3 Deadwoods for the price of 4. And things like that. Honestly, I think that should be a Levy special. Especially, I know that Levy would never do that. But, considering, maybe Paratici can maybe, sneak in maybe an extra Deadwood player, in the contract. Listen, if you buy a deli, you get a Winks for free, things like that. That'd be lovely.
It would be good. It would be good, actually. And I going to what Dermot was saying, you do feel that this is the last throw of the dice for Levy. I think it really is, because I think the crowd now will turn. If this doesn't go right, the crowd will turn. And I think that once the crowd does turn, Levy's an egotistical man, and as soon as he does see, we just saw it with just, the South Stand, everyone's seeing Levy out, seeing have a bit of a reaction there. So I'm really, really hoping. The other thing is that we're going to have half a season worth of gate receipts coming in. So, that's more income that we didn't have before with the COVID. So, he's going on banging on about, we're sustainable now. Well, yeah, okay. So now spend money. You've actually admitted we got money. So now go and spend it. So I think, okay, a leopard never changes his spots, but you just got to hope, haven't you? It's the hope that kills you. You just got to hope that he's had an epiphany. You've got to hope that he might. It's given all of the football side to Paratici and Conte and said, "Look, here's the money you've got. You spend it how you want." Yeah, because that's why. This is half the reason we haven't sold the Deadwood players, because he wants to get top money for them. Yeah. It's like, and the thing about it, and I think Dermot put on this point as well, is that it's coming. It's supposed to be this financial genius, and yet the amount of money we paid managers when we've sacked them early.
We came up with the theory, though, Brad, that maybe there were some NDAs, in there regarding, Levy's kind of tactics, maybe even his own, personality or something, that he's thrown in some NDAs in there. So what do you make of that? Maybe they're actually paid so much just to never speak about maybe what's gone wrong at Spurs.
Well, yeah. I tried to get that from a place I used to work. It didn't work for me, but but yeah, no. Possibly, but it does get me that when we won't pay an extra 15 million for a player, and then we sack a manager or 2 managers if you include Mourinho, and pay them 15 million, whatever it is. So we sacked 2 managers. God knows what we paid for them in the first place, and we've lost 30 million pound that could have got bought as players. So it's very annoying, and yet he comes supposed to be this financial genius. Okay, maybe in the business world of organising loans for the ground and that sort of thing, maybe he is good at that. But certainly on the football point of view, especially when you think that Champions League football gets you more income, and yet we've missed out on Champions League football because he hasn't invested in the squad. So I think on a football side, he's a bit of a dick. So it's we just got to hope that. I just hope that he's stepping out of the football side of things and going to leave it up to Paratici and Conte. That's all I hope. And we've got to trust in them. We've got a good team there. Hopefully, they're not proven yet, obviously, but we just got to hope that they're going to turn it around. And by January transfer window, we could be in one cup semi-final. We could be in a knockout stage of another cup. We could possibly know who we're getting in the third round of the cup. So, there are lots of things that by January, we will know a lot more about how we're going this season. As we've got a run of games now that we should be picking up points, definitely. Yeah. I'm not one of these people that say, we've got 5 or 6 wins. Yeah, they're guaranteed. This is Tottenham we're talking about. But we've got 5 or 6 games that we should be able to pick up a lot of points. And the way the league has gone this season, there's no one really standing out for that 4th spot. Yeah. So by January transfer window, we could be in that that position where we can strike out for the Champions, and then Conte's got something to back him up. Say, hey, we're on the verge now. Back me, because if you back me, we're going to do it. And we just hope that he's come to the club because he's been promised some sort of backing, and we're in a good position there because he will walk if he's not. So,
Yeah. No, 100%. 100% to what. Look, the thing is, nowadays football and business, they're going to have to coincide together. But it's just about what we're asking for is just sometimes take that leap of faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Push the ball out that sometimes.
Yeah.
I get the business model. It's a great business model in theory. But sometimes you have to break from that, push the ball out. And then once you've done that and the success comes, then you can go back to what you're doing. You know what I mean? But just push the ball out a little. That's all we're asking.
I feel like it's a business model for something like Brentford when you think about it, like somebody who's trying to run the Moneyball method, kind of situation where you're kind of looking at stats on players, trying to buy players, look in places where no one else is looking. But when it comes to like much bigger club, it just doesn't really make sense when you think about it. It's something that you would probably do with a club, maybe even too great, like kind of like a Norwich when you think about it. Like that's what you would kind of do it with, like somebody where you don't want to invest too much money so you don't get burned. But at the same time, you invested in the right places. So maybe you can be able to accumulate money over time. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I think the theory is true, but you just don't do it with bigger clubs. That's when it doesn't make sense.
Well, the other thing is success will breed more success as well, which will breed more money. It's like, we saw it at the Champions
notoriety.
League. Yeah, the Champions League run. Suddenly we're known. We get to a Champions League final. Suddenly Tottenham Hotspur are known around the world.
Yeah.
We've got a big name anyway, but, up until then, that increased it, by a good number.
Yeah.
So you buy these players like your Sons that attracts the South Korean, and who knows, there might be a South Korean billionaire that suddenly you think, oh, I'm going to pump money into this team, So maybe that's just me fantasizing, but
no, that'd be lovely. I think that there's definitely one out there. But Moondog, big yourself up. I absolutely love it. I definitely want to get that buy one get one free. I think someone even said in the comments I think it was like buy one dead wood, get the rest of them all for free. But big yourself up, Moondog. Fantastic comment, Brad. Any other final comments? Any places that maybe more people can find more of you? Any places that maybe we can see more Brad Matthews?
Well, as far as the music is concerned, I've got Friday and Monday off this week. Oh. So the idea is to re-record or video the song that I'd actually had 5 songs ready to go, but the vocals, you basically couldn't hear what the hell I was singing about. So I decided
you can use David and I for vocals, probably. I know David's got that nice monotone kind of voice. I can go probably a bit higher on the octave range when you think about it. So you need us.
Hey, look! I'm just ready for someone to see the song and say, hey, I'm a record producer. Why don't you come and see me, sort of thing? Yeah, I can give you. Hey, look, the ambition is for the duet with Adele later this year. So
shoot high.
Yeah, so maybe we could do something together. But also, I did like to see what Ben Kaufman said. Chris after Brian Daigle is like the Beatles playing after Elvis, star-studded lineup. Well, I don't know what makes me. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the Kinks. Or something like that. I don't know. But
AC/DC, Brad. AC/DC.
Yeah.
The Pixies.
Give yourself some credit. But look, Brad, pick yourself up and thank you very much for giving up your time and coming on this evening.
No problems. Don't forget, guys, click like, subscribe. There's 120 odd people watching and only about 40 or 50 likes. Doesn't take too much to
160 now, Brad. 160. You're doing us in.
Well, there you go. 160. Even more reason to click the like and subscribe.
More people to buy the Brian Daigle or the Brad Matthews album, and whatnot. More people
for
that.
Yeah. I'll be wearing my Brad Matthews album T-shirt on when that happens. So,
big up, Brad.
But big up everyone else that's going to come on after me. If you're watching, it'd be a great show. I think last week I saw it went on for 5 hours. So
it was.
And it won't be going on for 5 hours this week. I can tell you that. I still have to have dinner and everything. But big up, Brad, my man.
Really good to have you, brother.
Cheers, guys. Have a great night, great weekend, and hopefully we'll have a great result on Sunday. And the Conte revolution will be well underway. Win, draw, another win, unbeaten.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. Big up, Brad. Big up, Brad. Everybody get in the chat and give Brad a good bit of love, guys. Absolutely brilliant. The Truth Sets You Free says, if someone needs to talk, contact Jack or David and I can contact you. I'm a spiritual student, teacher, not a doctor though, but just talking can fix things. Big yourself up. The Truth Sets You Free. Really nice of you to offer your services, my man. Absolute legend.
As everything's in our email, though, everybody, just feel free to hit David or I, whichever one you want to speak to. Include both of us if you like, but David and I are available via email. And then from there, we can talk to you and be able to get to know you and be able to understand maybe what your situation is, or even just someone to talk to, whatever the situation is. But we are very readily available, and we are, you can contact us in plenty of ways. So feel free to hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, email. It's all down in the description below.
Yeah. So everybody, big up the Truth Sets You Free. It is good for you to offer the service. Everybody do get in contact.
As well.
Big yourselves up. Paul Markey says, guys, I'm growing a beard for November to raise funds for the charity. Can I change you guys to have yours shaved for the same if you agree? 25 from me. So Jack, basically, I think what he's asking us to do is not shave for the rest of the month. Paul Markey, would I be correct? Do let me know if that's what you are asking. You're asking us not to shave for the rest of the month. Look, you know what I mean? No need to give me 25 whatsoever. If that's what you're asking me to do, I'll help you. I'll support you. Let me know what charity it's for, my man. Big yourself up. Jack?
I'll try to, Paul. I'll try to, but at least in my case, I am, maybe just to bring things down a bit. Unfortunately, I am going to be going to a funeral and things like that, so I might need to be a bit more kind of better looking for something like that. Maybe not be so ragged looking for it, but I'll try my best, see if I can get away with it, Paul. But if that weren't the case, then I definitely would have honestly gone for the whole November. But I will be seeing a lot of the extended family for loss in the family, but maybe next time around. But big yourself up, Paul, and no need to donate more for it. But we absolutely love the cause, love the charity work that you're doing. Also really appreciate you letting us know about it as well, Paul. Definitely have a really found respect for you there. And also just big yourself up. Really appreciate it. I know David will be joining you, but big yourself up, Paul. Really appreciate the charity work that you're doing there.
Nah, big up Paul Markey. Big up Paul Markey. Just let me know what charity is for, brother. Let me know what charity is for. Truth Sets Free says, we lost a great friend and an absolute legend of our town who was only 30 years old last Thursday. This man saved lives. Love to Bruce Enos. People will hear more about this great man in the future. Go ahead. First of all, Truth Sets You Free. I'm sorry to hear that, my man. What an absolute legend. 30, it's way too young, my man. Way too young. And I hope you're keeping well. Hope you're keeping well. The Truth Sets You Free. And big up, Bruce, for saving lives.
Yeah. Big up, Truth. And honestly, Truth, as I said to you before, I have prayed for your town. I've prayed for also the loss in your community. I can tell by the way that you felt about it. It seems like a very, very deep loss. Seems like someone that was a hero to a lot of you. Someone that was almost like kind of a, I don't know, like a kind of like a beating heart, in the entire community. And to lose someone that's such a focal figure, I think is very, very tough, especially David, and the smaller kind of towns and the smaller areas, when you lose someone that's such a voice, such an influence in the town, it really, it's a real loss, and, sometimes can never be replaced. But Truth Sets You Free. Really appreciate the respect and the dignity that you've given that man as well. So pick yourself up. And I know it's going to be a long time till you guys recover from it, but hopefully, you can find a way to recover at least yourself, Truth, but pick yourself up, my man.
No, big yourself up, Truth Sets You Free. Big yourself up. William Kelly says, do you think Joe Lewis getting to the end of his days and he realizes he can't take the money with him, so he's going to spend and enjoy the victories? Jack, what would you say to William Kelly? Look, William, that's one way of looking at it.
Actually,
I wouldn't be wishing it. I'm not that sort of guy. You know what I mean? Jack, take it away.
William Kelly, it's not a bad, it's a certain scenario where there are a lot of, especially this is the case. And, I don't really want to slag down any, older folks or anything, but there are a lot of older folks that really still hold on to their money for so long for no reason, really, when you think about it, especially, and that might be kind of Joe Lewis's case, where he just has all this money he doesn't know what to do with anymore. And he's kind of realizing, he's starting to probably reach the end of his days, especially over in the Caribbean as well, on that yacht, maybe starting to realize, there are only so many, wall space that he can fill it up with expensive artwork. He's probably run out of space maybe in there. William Kelly, he's now realizing, he's probably just got to finally invest it into that football club of his. And he's probably even forgotten maybe that he even owned a football club at a certain stage. So William Kelly, maybe it's just kind of, almost like, how would you say it, David? You're, where he procrastinated. It's almost like he's procrastinated his spending maybe a bit, William Kelly. And, maybe like some older people, sometimes they accidentally hold on to their money a bit too long and then they invest it all in one place. Maybe what Lewis does is that he invests it all in our place. That'd be absolutely glorious. So big up William Kelly. It's definitely a real thing. It is actually a real thing. Sometimes old people Dave, they hold on to it for a very long time and then they realize they got to get rid of it soon, so big up William Kelly. Hopefully that's the case with Lewis.
No, what a legend with him, Kelly. Big up, my man. Big up. It's a very dark scenario with him. Very dark. Big up, though, with him. And the truth sets you free. Big yourself up, man. Really appreciate the support again. You know, another big one. Big yourself up, man. You're way too kind to myself and Jack. We really, really don't deserve it. He says, I overcame mental anxiety and depression with the course of miracles and the spiritual teachings within 20 years ago. I was in a bad mental place before that. Bad. It's all mental strength and mantras to dissolve the ego away. Well, look, my man, you are a living example of, you know, even when times get tough and you're at your very, very lowest depth, you know what I mean, that you can always pull yourself out of it. Look, it's like, I liken it to a bit of like a hole. You know what I mean? Eventually, you know, you keep clawing away, you build up the platform on the ground and you'll be able to get yourself out. You know what I mean? So do not worry. You'll always improve. There's always brighter days ahead. You know what I mean? Look, I know people close to me, they've suffered it throughout all their life. But as the years go on, they get better and better and they improve and they improve and they improve. Don't get me wrong, we'll always be there. But, you know, there is better times ahead. You know, I guess is what I'm saying. Jack, anything you want to say? Truth sets you free.
Truth sets you free. It's very, very impressive that you've been able to repair yourself. You know, I know you probably had lots around you, hopefully, that, you know, were able to help you in that journey, baby, you know, back to, you know, some sense of, you know, confidence, some sense of, you know, enjoyment of life and everything. But I will tell you, you seem like somebody that really knows himself very, very well. And, you know, that takes, you know, a real kind of journey, Dave. You know, that takes a real kind of adventure of sorts to be able to build yourself up, to be able to repair oneself. And I know that, you know, through at least through spirituality, through whatever, you know, helped you on your way, True Sets Free, I can tell that it definitely did a lot of good work, and also really appreciate the support that you've given David and I, you know, helping us on our journey. But as well, it is very, very important, especially during David November, which is very much a month that is dedicated to men's mental health. I really hope that, you know, True Sets Free, hopefully that I know that you're doing at least a bit better this year. Hopefully you're doing at least a bit better this month. And maybe in particular, because I know that a lot of people don't want to admit that they suffer from some sort of anxiety, if not depression, if not, you know, some other, you know, kind of mental condition of some sort, because it really is, you know, affects all of us at one point in our lives. It affects all of us at one point of our lives. And it's very, very admirable that you've been able to bring it up with such honesty, with such confidence. And hopefully you've been able to repair yourself in the same way that maybe others have repaired themselves. But really big up, Drew. That's very, very, very admirable of you. Very, very, very well done.
No, look, you know, like I said, a living example of times do get better, you know, but big yourself up. The truth sets you free. But look, you know what? Let's get on the next guest. I believe it is the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Sombrero, Coover 99. Big up, Coover. How are you keeping, my man?
Oh, I'm great here. Thanks, lads. Big up to everybody that's been on already. Great guests as always. I was going to wear the sombrero again tonight, but it somehow didn't feel appropriate with having little discussions about depression.
Yeah.
And I'm another one that's been through it. I've spent a whole decade hammering back the drinks. It can happen to anybody. You don't even need a reason. Some people just suffer with depression when there's no apparent cause for it. So the one thing I will stress to anybody that's really feeling down is you do not need to be alone. There is always someone you can reach out to talk to, whether it's the Samaritans, whether it's a friend. Don't suffer in silence. Just say something. There's experts on the phone at the Samaritans who they will just let you talk. They will just sit there listening. You can get everything off your chest if you want to. They'll also do the reverse. If you don't feel like talking, just give them a few details to work on, and they will talk to you calmly. They'll try and help you find a way. Well, sometimes they don't even find a way to get a course of action for you. Sometimes they're just there, so you've got an ear to bend. It's a fantastic service. They're amazing people that help. Lots of countries have their own versions of it. And if anybody is really in that kind of state, if you leave details with the channel here, I'm happy to give you my own personal number, and you could ring me any time of day, even in the middle of the night, and I'll spare some time for you. Anyway, big up to all those people going through it as well. Also about the anxiety, I suffer from it. I've learned this one technique. I kid myself on that I'm not going to suffer from it. So I'll do the jokes and I'll come out and try and be center of attention. It works for me. I found a way. I mean, I don't drink anymore. Don't do anything. I'm sort of living a quite a righteous life, if you like, at the moment. This is my vice coming on, mucking about the Spurs crowd. So it's great stuff, and things are picking up. So I feel great now. But
Absolutely.
But we all suffer from something at one point in stage in our lives, and it all comes out of nowhere as well. So we just have to, like you said, we just have to speak to, just be honest about it and come to someone that you can feel like you can speak to. And if not, if you don't feel like there is anyone, like you just said, there's always, actually special help out there, whether it's a phone number, whether it's a certain database or something that can help you in any sort of way. You're never alone. Never alone. Big up, Coover.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, it's a really strange thing as well, because you can be in a crowded room with your friends and still feel like you're alone when you're in that down point.
Yeah.
It's like being at the bottom of a well. You can see there's something up there and you have no idea how to get out. It's bad times, but if you just reach out, there is always someone for you.
Yeah.
Well said.
No, there definitely is. There definitely is. And look, before we get into it, Coover, Paul Markey says, raise funds for Movember charity by shaving your beards off on the 30th, and I'll contribute 25 to charity. Also, the community can sponsor you.
Oh, God.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll contribute anyway, but I'll be honest with you. This bad boy, I've been growing for years upon years upon years. I do keep it trimmed and all, but it took me to get the nice color the whole way through and everything else. It took a long time. But look, I'll contribute anyway, Paul. I'll contribute anyway, but I don't know. I'll tell you what, I'll do the opposite. I'll just let it grow, but I don't want to shave it.
Yeah, I think that's actually well said, and I'll do the same as well, Paul, where, at least in my case, I just know that I actually have to look a bit more fit and proper for certain family members and everything, so I don't look so ragged, but I promise that David and I on the 30th will show to you as well that we'll contribute, especially because this does mean a lot to us. I know David and I have been through some versions of what we've been speaking about personally as well, and we've all been there at some point in our lives, so it is just something that is also, it's the month that's dedicated to it. It is a month that is very much dedicated to men's mental health, so we can do it even just by donating to the right sort of charities, and wherever you're donating to, Paul, David and I will happy to be able to meet the same amount as well. So big yourself up, Paul. Really big yourself up, my man. Appreciate you.
Paul. Absolute legend. But look, Coover, what do you want to speak about? I know you're on Kinnicky answering me, so we digressed a lot of topics. But what do you want to speak about today, my man?
Well, first of all, let's get this beard nonsense out of the way, because this is staying. I mean, my long-term plan is getting beard rings on these things. It's going to look like that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've always wanted it. I started shaving my beard off ages ago, and the kids suddenly said, please don't get rid of your beard. They love it. They love coming up behind me just playing with the beard. So I thought, all right, I'll compromise. I'll just start growing it this style. Going through the sort of aging biker look. Anyway, I'm quite happy to contribute to the charity, though. That's fine. Right. Otherwise, what am I going to start with? Let's go with Harry Kane, because it's always Jack's favourite thing to get onto.
I can speak about how you can't do the cows come home tonight.
No, well, let's start off with
you got 12 rounds with David. If you bring up that stuff, he'll go 12 rounds with you, Tyson Fury style. He'll keep getting up as well. Even when you think you knocked down David, he'll get up like Tyson Fury does.
But let's just start with the international breakdown. What a lovely lift it is to see Harry banging in 7 goals. It's just, it's like a weight being lifted off him. You can see it in his face. Now, let's go back a while with Harry Kane. Let's go back right to the start of his career with us, when he was a young up-and-coming talent. And he hadn't broken into the first team yet. It featured maybe in a couple of friendlies or something like that. One day we had Harry Redknapp at the club, and he had his mate, big Frank Lampard Sr. And Frank Lampard Sr. said to Harry Redknapp he watched Harry Kane. He said, that's a good player, but maybe he's got a bit of timber on him, something along those lines. And, if he could just get a pair of running spikes on, he'd really be something. And Harry Redknapp says, why don't you just go and tell him that? So, fair enough, he did. Harry Kane took it in, went out, bought himself a pair of running shoes, put the extra effort in, got really super fit, lost that extra weight. Look what happened after then. Amazing. Now, why do I start off saying that? That, for me, ties in with this season and several other seasons. You remember when Harry Kane has a slow start? It's usually because he's had an interrupted pre-season. It takes him ages to get going. He's always been one of these players that plays at their peak when they're super fit. Everything's absolutely flying. When he comes back from injury, he rarely hits form straight away. He has to get into his groove. That's why he's not in that genius class like Ronaldo or Messi. Harry Kane works hard to get where he is.
Yeah.
He practices constantly. It's not a natural born thing with him. The intelligence side is, but the actual application, he's a Kevin Keegan type who works his socks off. Utter dedication.
He's kind of become a different player over the years as well. Sorry, but yeah, continue, Coover.
No, I was going to say, right, this season in particular, he's had no pre-season whatsoever. He's started the season even later than normal. There's, he's down about the European Championships. We can all understand that. Maybe the whole he might be moving away thing played on his mind too. We don't know for sure, but it sounds, it must have some sort of effect on you. The one thing I do not buy is that he down tools, because Harry Kane, what does he love above all else? Scoring goals. He's not going to throw away an entire season just for the sake of getting a move. He's going to want these records broken. However, you can't deny he's been way off form this season.
Yeah, no.
But let's go back to the fitness bit. Missing that pre-season. For a lot of players, well, not a lot of players, some players can get away with that. I think we're now seeing Harry Kane start to catch up with the fitness. He's starting to look sharper on the international games.
Do you feel like he is a player that quickly always needed it? Like, maybe he's not somebody that, I guess he's not Ronaldo with the 8-pack abs, and he's not Holland, turning into an absolute robot for the summer.
He's the old steam locomotive. When he gets up ahead of steam, he's unstoppable. But it takes a little bit of time for him to get there.
Into the flow of things,
Yeah, absolutely. Now, pre-season, that fitness you gain from pre-season is you just cannot replicate it through the rest of the season. Now, anybody that's played even amateur level will know what I'm talking about on this. That pre-season sort of boot camp, if you like, you do not want to be the last player that comes in on the runs. You do not want to be the last player that does the sprint training. You're competing. That competition drives you way beyond that point where you would normally quit. You'd give it in. He hasn't had that this season. Whether it's the same with Gio. Did Gio miss pre-season as well? I can't remember now. Possibly. Don't know whether it's the same for him or not. I just don't know the bloke well enough. But Harry Kane, though, missing that, it doesn't matter how many personal trainers you have. It doesn't matter all the extra little shifts of training during the season. Because you haven't had that competitive nature of being in with the rest of your teammates, driving each other beyond breaking point, you are not at the peak of your fitness. We've also then had Mourinho. We know the fitness of the squad got less under Mourinho. Same with Nuno. Harry Kane's just not been fit. That's a major thing. With these extra fitness coaches in that, and
isn't it? Some people have said it's immeasurable. Like, actually, it's almost, or it's like, I don't even know the right word, but unquantifiable or something. Where it's like, being in that peak fitness, it actually goes so much longer of a way than people realize.
Absolutely, because we're talking about elite athletes here.
Right.
I mean, imagine Usain Bolt if he takes like a month off and then goes straight into a race. It's not going to be the same, is it?
He might not have gone the world record.
Quick, well, he probably still would win, knowing him. But
he's not breaking the world record though, or anything.
Exactly. We're talking about these little sort of 5% differences that at that level means everything. When you're Harry Kane and a lot of your game is built on physical dominance of the players around you, holding the players off, getting that little yard ahead of them. If you're missing that little yard, you're struggling. Also tied in with that is the change of tactics.
Yeah.
I've heard people saying about Harry Kane, he's just walking around like he doesn't care. Is he? Because the amount of times I've seen our fullback areas being pressed, and we'll see Lucas drops back, Son drops back, Kane's there by himself. So when the ball does come back to that end of the pitch, you can't expect him to press 3 people. Why would he try that? Why are you going to waste all your energy trying to run around like a
Headless
little
chicken,
ferret boy at Leicester? I've forgotten. Ferret at Leicester. What's his name? I've forgotten that. I don't even care.
Vardy.
Oh, that's him. I mean, he'll chase anything. He's like a dog. He'll just chase cars down the road. I mean, Kane's not that stupid. Yeah. He's going to bide his time. It's also part of the tactic for our forwards now to sit on those central defenders to break up that little comfortable passing out around at the back.
Yeah.
So you're not going to see that same level of pressing we used to under Pochettino, where it was a different style of play altogether. That was really aggressive, high pressing. You'll get something along those lines as Conte starts getting his system into place. We'll start pressing further up the pitch. But right at the moment, we're a broken system, and Harry Kane's often left there alone. But the thing for me is when he gets that real sharpness back, when he gets that fitness to the peak, we will be seeing Harry Kane again.
Well said, actually. I've never read. It's actually well broken down. Everybody, a bit of a applause for Coover there. Actually, well broken down. Also, even quickly in Kane's defense, I've seen whatever for like 19-year-old Mason Greenwood, like be walking more almost than Ronaldo does at times, which I just find absolutely shocking. The kid must thinks he's like already made it, that he doesn't need to press or something. Like seriously, I've never seen a 19-year-old walk as much as Mason Greenwood. Even. Seriously, it's actually shocking to me. So maybe that's also in defense to Kane, where the guy's just he didn't have the preseason, didn't have the training, like Kuva said, and also as well, he just was kind of being left alone up there sometimes to do all the work, like Kuva was saying, and he's not too stupid at his age, to be pressing like that. It's just he's not naive at the end of the day. Well said, Kuva.
Well, again with Greenwood, I mean, you don't know what his individual instructions are from the manager. It might be saying, conserve your energy. Don't waste your time pressing there. Just make yourself available for that breakthrough run because he's so damn fast.
I mean, maybe so. Could be the same with Harry Kane. Maybe then to a degree as well. Like don't waste your energy in these scenarios. Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if there's nobody around to support him in the press, it's pointless pressing.
Yeah, exactly. And also, well said. Well said, Kuva. Really well broken down there. David, anything to ask Kuva?
Yeah, what's your thoughts now heading into this next five games? Should be all winnable games as far as I'm concerned. How far can we really push this Conte train until January until he gets help?
It's hard to tell, isn't it, mate? It depends how much what we will see over these next 5 games is which players are just not salvageable.
Yes,
because we might get some more difficult games. I mean, I hope people are prepared for this because it's no instant fix. We knew that. We've said it for a long time how many players we think need replacing. We can't expect them suddenly all to be brilliant. They won't be. Some are going to respond instantly, though. Kane's one, I think, with the extra fitness coaches coming in. Although I said about the preseason being so important, he has had a bit of a run now. He starting to look sharper anyway, even before the international break, I thought. He wasn't pressing as much, but he was there. He was more on point when the ball did arrive to him. Even against Everton.
One player, Coover, that nobody's talking about under Conte is Son. Do you think Conte can bring Son to a new level again?
Well, he's going to be seeing more of the ball, isn't he, eventually? It's not just Kane that's been starved of service. The two of them work together. I mean, it's such an easy ploy when you play against us in recent years because to just cut off our fullbacks and then isolate Kane so the pass doesn't go out to Son. I mean, that's a pretty obvious tactic to take because who else is going to provide anything? So yeah, Sonny will pick up just because the rest of the team's actually going to do something that he thrives on. Just put the ball in his path in a dangerous area. Some will do the rest. He's bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
In these next 5 matches, Coover, I believe it's, say it again, David, Burnley or Leeds, Burnley,
Norwich,
Brentford, and Brighton, I believe.
Brighton.
What would you expect? 15 points, 13 points, 10 points, 12 points? What do you predict maybe?
Right, Leeds is a difficult one to predict because if it was last season, I think they'd turn us over if it was the Leeds from last season, just because their pressing's so ferocious and we're so vulnerable to it. They still might because of that.
Is Luke Ayling back for them? Because that was a big loss for them so far this season. Luke Ayling and Patrick Bamford are big losses for them.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've got a thin squad, really, haven't they? I mean, take away any of their key players, they're not quite the same. I mean, hopefully that works for us because, like against Everton, it didn't matter that they did press us eventually because they just didn't have the firepower there. Despite the sort of near penalty that we luckily Hugo got it right. There wasn't a lot else really. A few long shots. I don't remember any really serious danger points. Leeds, same with them really, because we're now more organised defensively. They might not get as much out of that sort of really aggressive press. I mean, they're probably one of the best pressers. Them and Liverpool and Man City, probably the 3 best pressers in the league last season, arguably. But I don't see it being so effective now for them. I mean, they're obviously struggling. You can see that.
Yeah.
That game, I'm not sure. I think we've got enough to be able to nick that, but it's not going to be an easy game. Maybe nick it 1-0. I'll be all right with that.
I think we did. We take 38 1-0.
3 points is 3 points at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you win 5-0 or 1-0. 3 points is 3 points.
Yeah, this is not the season to be dreaming of pretty football at the moment. We're just going to get back on track and winning ways. That's the Conte way. Build it up. Get yourself impossible to beat first of all. The next few games, the Brentford game, the Norwich game. Who was the other one?
Brentford's Norwich, Burnley.
Brentford, Norwich, Burnley. I think we got enough to do all of those.
4 Bs.
Yeah, Brentford I was a bit worried about at the start of the season, but I think they're missing a couple of key players as well. It's another one of those paper-thin squads. They've got some promising youngsters coming up because of the way they recruit, but they're not they've got no Premiership experience, so we should have enough to beat them.
And what about the wannabe Harry Potter?
Brighton. I'm full of respect for Harry Potter. I think he's a fantastic manager. He's built a team that plays proper football, gives anybody a good game. You watch the game again, then when they played recently against Liverpool, got the draw at Anfield. They were the better side, I thought.
They can show up on their day.
They're the real deal.
One's broken though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the
Expelliarmus goals anymore.
Yeah, well, the trouble is with them again. It's not got real. There's no real depth in their squad, is there? I mean, unless their first 11's there and on point there, they're not quite the same either. But what he's done there, I think, is fantastic achievement. He would have done okay for us, I think, but not like this. This is Conte. This is something else.
Yeah,
whole different kind of pasta. Kind of pasta.
Oh yeah.
But it's a pleasure to have you, though, Coover. Maybe any final words, maybe for the Harris Army, or any final words, maybe, or words of wisdom, whatever it may be. Or
like I said before, I mean, there's just you could talk for days on end about Spurs. There's just so many things.
It's a good
just
nice
grabbing a quick list because I did jot a couple of things down, just in case I forgot them. But
while you're going through that list, I'll just take this super chat from the truth sets you free. If there's anything you missed, we'll give you more time. He says, David and Jack, know I was ranked top 10 golf teacher worldwide in 2017, but all I did for 17 years of teaching golf was speak of my mental health issues and help golfers and anxiety. Golf was second. It's a silly game. I see. Yeah. No, look, fair play to you, my man. Look, I'd say golfers, they definitely need to have a mental resilience. They have no one they can depend on. Maybe a caddy, but they've no one that they can depend on. So a lot of resilience there they have to have, Jacko.
No, it's actually it's kind of like tennis and a lot of other sports where you're actually kind of by yourself out there. Truth, you're actually by yourself out there. There's no teammates that you can kind of blame something on. You can only blame everything on yourself, which really either makes you break or makes you like stronger at the end of the day. And honestly, that can break you. I remember even when I play intense games of table tennis or ping pong, with my brother David, sometimes there were so many rackets I would break just because there's nothing else I could blame on other than myself. So. Truth sets free. I will say it does make you a stronger person, sports like that. It actually does. And, I'm glad that maybe, that was maybe part of the key of, helping better golfers is just speak about, their mental health, speak about, what's bothering them. And as well as Truth Sets Free, really appreciate all the, I don't know how to say it, just all the wisdom and all the truth, forgive, the redundancy of that, but all the truth that you've given today about a very, very important month for all men out there, a very important month for everybody that is dealing with any sort of issues, either just outside of, their own life or within their own life, because it is a very difficult month. It can be a difficult year for people. It's just a good time to be open and honest. I've seen a lot of people in the chat be very open and honest, which is very commendable, very admirable. People are being very, very brave. It's just a good atmosphere right now. It's different kind of good vibes. It's a different kind of good vibes, but it is very nice to see that everybody's so honest with each other. It's a real family. I feel like people are really, getting to know each other a bit better. People are being very, vulnerable to each other in the best sort of way as well. And Truth Sets Free is definitely setting an example of that. So big yourself up, Truth, my man.
And we'll just take these next two as well, and then we'll crack on because I do want to get other people's comments up as well. Truth Sets You Free says, God brought me here for a reason. I want to help and I can. I'm an expert at relieving and anxiety, and I love you guys. I'll shut up now, Night. No, look, don't ever shut up, Truth Sets You Free. You're doing a good thing, my man. Look, I'm a firm believer is, whatever good happens to your life or wherever you find yourself is where the big man upstairs firmly wants you. You know what I mean? Whether it's good or bad, it's bad because he wants to learn from it for what's coming in the future. That's good further down the line. You know what I mean? And what's good will not pass you by, and it's meant to be. So big up the Truth Sets You Free. What an absolute legend.
No need to shut up as well, Truth. Just because you've started a dialogue, you've started a conversation that was very worth starting as well. Very worth starting. So don't even think about that. Don't think about it that way. Big yourself up, my man.
No, what a legend. And William Kelly. Wow, he says, my boy was so excited for the shout out you gave him the other day. He can't wait for his first or for his flat cap. He would really love if you guys signed it. He told me you guys are legends and he wants to be just like you guys. Look, first of all, correct me if I'm wrong, I still remember the name Luke.
Yeah, I think it is Luke or Luca. Luca or Lucas. Yeah, Luke. Remind me, William Kelly. I forgot, but yeah, it is. It's might be Luke or Luca. I forgot. But big yourself up, William Kelly. Definitely, we'll have to find a silver Sharpie, David. Especially if we get a nice. Maybe we'll just have to give him one of our own flat caps, David, and that'd be nice.
Well, look, I'll go out and get him one. I'll sign it. I'll send it over to Jack to sign it. We'll get it sent back here and then over to Australia, my man. So do not worry. Look, it probably will take a while. You know what it's like. It's even hard to get Christmas presents shipped in and stuff like that right now. So, but look, we will get the flat cap signed and we will get it sent over to you, William Kelly, for the young lad. And look, we're not legends, man. I'm just a normal Spurs fan like everybody else. Same passion as everybody else. Found myself in a decent enough position, to be able to sit here and do this and the way it's just continued and stuff like that. No legend. If he wants to be like me, look, that's an absolute compliment. I never ever thought anybody would ever want to be like me, to be honest with you. But what an absolute legend. And look, if he ever does want to start getting into this and there's any way me and Jack can help him or give him advice or whatever else, just get in contact with him. We're always there, my man.
And also, William, tell him it's okay to have the ketchup and mayo at his age. It's very okay. You don't listen to Antonio Conte. He's not a professional footballer. He's allowed to have the ketchup and mayo, especially since there's going to be probably a bit more ketchup and mayo available since, the Spurs, stadium won't be having as much as they probably used to. So tell him it's okay to have a bit of ketchup and mayo with a few chippers, Dave. So definitely big yourself up. And I think it is Luke, and I'm trying to still remember. So I do apologize, William Kelly, but I can't wait to make it out to him. An absolute legend he is, an indoctrinated member of the Harris Army now. Definitely one of our own, especially alongside William Kelly as well. So big up to little Kelly. Big up to little Kelly. Big yourself up, miss.
Legend. And we'll just take this one as well. The truth sets you free, says Captain Lou Albano, says the wrestling legend, Google him, had the great rubber bands on beard. Oh, and Coover, you're brilliant, and we look up to you. Thanks.
It's really nice of you to say the truth. I'm just a regular person. Nothing special here. These two up here, though, these are the legends. Because I'll tell you what, David, do not put yourself down, mate. Because at the time when we were going through misery with this club, there was one voice that was like always coming through the dark, the fog, and cutting through it was your enthusiasm for the club, and it's what drew me to this channel. I just thought you gifted the gab, your Irish charm, and your big enthusiasm. It's infectious. It really is. Wow. Even when you're talking absolute bollocks, it doesn't matter. I still like listening to you. It's true, and everybody does here. I mean, they flock to this channel because of you. Wow. One last thing, so you can't reply. Just really quickly. It was touching on what Brad was saying about has Joe Lewis decided he's going to have a little blast with his money at the end of the day, when the lights are going out for him. It's funny, the rumours that go around, but it makes you think about that rumour about his daughter's quite heavily into Spurs. And if she's standing to inherit a lot, maybe it's her speaking to the old man about, can we have a few funds now? We need it. You never know.
That'd be nice if maybe she's inheriting a bit of the Lewis fortune, and she's a real Spurs fan in comparison to him. That would actually be quite wonderful, actually. Honestly, big up to her. She would be an absolute saint. She would be an absolute saint.
It's all rumors, isn't it? But I mean, it why not?
Yeah. Mother Lewis of the Spurs family, big up, an absolute saint. That would be, honestly, wow, that'd be real charitable work right there, certainly. But that'd be nice, especially if that's the case with Lewis. But Coover did an absolutely brilliant job tonight. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. We'll be seeing plenty more of you on the panels and whatnot. And we'll be seeing plenty more of you on this channel. But everybody, all I can say is get used to Coover. Get used to Coover.
Also over at Dermot's channel,
yes,
the Tottenham Tantrum Goal, doing some of the retro games. I'm going full time with him now on these retro games.
Nice, so, you killed it with them as well.
It's fun. It's fun if people just like talking old times and listening to older fans talking about the likes of Graham Roberts and Glenn Hoddle and the 60s, even when it's before our time. We're just big fans of it. We're there, and also Josh the Spurs guy. He's doing a nice little. He's doing a nice little playthrough on Football Manager 22 at the moment. He's just started.
Is he now? That's
and
nice.
It's a lot of fun. He's making tons of mistakes, and it's a brilliant watch. It is. It's so much fun because he doesn't quite know what does what, and you're learning with him as he's doing it. It's really enjoyable. Anyway, cheers, lads. Big up to everybody that's been on. Big up to everybody that's following.
Well done, sir.
And see you soon.
No, everybody, before Coover goes, everybody get in the chat, show him the love. He's been absolutely brilliant since he's found it in himself to start coming on here. And he's an example. I seen Catman Jess earlier on saying, sometimes he's a bit anxious and that's why he doesn't come on. Coover's another example right here, sitting here. He explained that he felt the same. He's been getting better and better and better, and he's come on, he's had his say, and there's no reason why you guys out there can't. I want to say a massive thank you to Coover as well for the kind words. I really appreciate it. I'll be honest, I don't know how to take them. So just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really mean that. And pick yourself up, Coover.
Extremely quickly to Catman Jess, I was the same. First time you're sitting there in their sort of waiting room to come on, it's terrifying. You're thinking, am I going to look like a fool? I mean, look at me. I'm overweight, middle-aged bloke, pasty white, with a stupid beard and a flat cap on. But I thought, I'll drag myself on anyway, see what it's like. And, you'd be surprised. You come on and
never look back.
The people back room as well, you're meeting all the other people that are also going to come on. You're all talking with each other. It's like a little pub meeting. It's really good fun. Yeah, I'll recommend it to anybody.
To the pub, it really is. You walk in, welcome all in. It's really well said, Coover. And also, you never look back. Once you do it your first time, you never look back. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. It's like, we're in this.
Well,
that's
all it is.
That's it. And just quickly, there's so many other examples. Philip Brady, Brad Matthews, Dermot, Chris, the list keeps going. Josh, all come on here. And since then, all off now doing their own thing and stuff like that. It's absolutely brilliant. Once you do it, you get the bug for it. And these channels only survive with you guys coming out of the woodwork, smashing the likes, smashing the subscribes, getting in your super chats, supporting it the way you do, sharing the streams. You know what I mean? So you're absolutely integral. But Coover, big yourself up, my man, and we'll see you again soon.
Will do, lads. Cheers.
Catch you, brother.
Absolute legend. See you soon, Coover. Absolutely brilliant guest, as always, guys. What a man Coover is. We have 2 more guests left in house. I don't know where Josh has gone. Josh, if you do want to get back in, we have 2 more guests. We'll get you in before we end off, my man. But big yourself up.
Chris might be after Daigle in case Chris is still waiting. I think he's after Daigle. So I think the order right now is Ben, Brian Daigle, Ben Kaufman, Brian Daigle, and then Chris if he's still around. And then I think it might be Josh after that in case Josh is still coming on.
Perfect.
Just making sure.
Truth Sets You Free says, you have 2 voices and 2 choices. Ego on one shoulder, angel on the other. When the devil, ego on your shoulder, illusionary voice no longer bothers you and dissipates through mental training towards your spirit, you get healed. 100%, my man. I couldn't agree more, Jack. What do you want to say? Truth Sets You Free.
No, I mean, to be honest, it's actually... It's true. We all find ourselves in a certain moment where we do kind of have to listen to maybe, the better half, because David, there's always sometimes that voice in our head that, kind of tells us maybe to be a bit more selfish. There's that voice that tells you sometimes to be a bit egotistical, maybe to think for yourself. And I think what you have to always do, especially in any scenario, you have to think a bit more humbly. You have to think, that there are bigger things than yourself in the world, that there are bigger things, and better things out there. If you do kind of act, I would say a bit more modestly, a bit more humbly. And especially I can say to the best of my ability, we all try to, but, we try to, live by that kind of truth. And I would say definitely listen to the angel side. And also I will say, whatever faith you are, whatever spirituality you are, you can really also, I can say for a fact for myself, you can really rely on maybe sometimes, someone or whatever you believe in to help yourself, especially get through something. So Truth Sets Free, really agree with you, really appreciate you. And also, like always, I really appreciate you being very open and honest about, your own struggles and your own ability to be able to repair yourself and take you to the places that you are today. And also really appreciate your open honesty, your confidence, and your just ability to be able to be, so open, such an open book to the Harris Army, as well as to David and I, personally. Really does help a lot. I think it really shows a lot of bravery and I have a lot of admiration for you, my man. Big yourself up.
No, absolute legend. The Truth Sets You Free, guys. But we're going to head into the last, quarter of the show now. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. The big push to 5K before the 21st of November is on. Let's see how close we can really push this bad boy of a channel. As well, guys, feel free to get your super chats in. It is a great way to support and help myself and Jack on our journey to take over YouTube. So, guys, make sure you get in the support, guys. It's a massive help. And plus, it just skips you to the very top of the chat, and we'll get to it more or less straight away. But big yourselves up, everybody. But look, let's keep rolling, Jacko. Let's bring on the next guest. Who is it?
I think the next one is Mr. Ben Kaufman here.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we, people?
We're all good. How are you, my man?
Doing all right. It's great seeing people talk openly about their feelings, how they're doing, and how we can all improve each other as a community. It's a wonderful time to be alive. Let's all push each other to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
Well said, actually. Make each other all the best versions of ourselves, the best way that we can. But but well said, actually.
I think we've all had bad times. I mean, part of the reason why I'm here and so passionate about what I do is when I was 10 years old, I got ulcerative colitis, very young to get that sort of illness. And the reason I'm so passionate about what I do is I'd be sitting in King George Hospital in Goodmayes with my dad, watching Tottenham playing in the old UEFA Cup, playing Bruges in that horrible brown football kit. so we can all improve each other. It'll be great to each other here.
Yeah. Well said. And I think that people have been very, it's honestly, I will say, normally this chat is, they kind of big each other up. They help each other with a bit of humor, a bit of comedy, sometimes a bit of darker humor, sometimes in this chat, especially. But it seems like everybody has been very, very supportive, has been very loving and kind to each other, and honestly has, let everyone know that even if we might not know each other's faces, they can always come here if they just need somebody to hang around. It feels like, honestly, it's like David has said before, it's almost like kind of walking into like, a bit of a family kind of atmosphere where you get to check in with people and, be able to make yourself, I don't know, just recover from whatever you're going through at the moment. I feel like a lot of people find a bit of solace in this chat, and I really do appreciate that about this community, especially as people are helping each other to making, at least their day or even their hour or whatever it may be, just a little bit easier, a bit more comfortable, a bit more honest. So everybody in the chat, just want to big yourselves up. It's been very, very incredible to look at you guys helping each other out in there.
And I just want to echo, Ben's words as well, guys. Look, let's all push each other to the best of our abilities. You know what I mean? Let's all push each other, and stuff like that. And let's see what happens. Look, let's make this the chat the best one in the world to be in. Let's all make it nice. And look, it's a great chat. When people are down, people pick them up. By the end of the stream, people are absolutely buzzing as well. So everybody, big yourselves up for the part you play in creating this, by the way. But Benji boy, back to football. What do you want to talk about when it comes to our beloved Tottenham Hotspur?
Oh, hopefully Harry Kane's going to be playing well next week. Who cares about the game that happened tonight? But all that matters is Leeds at the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put 6 past them. That's all I care about. We won't put 6 past them. But at least what we can hopefully see this weekend is a team that plays well with each other and that's well coached, because we've seen how overweight they are, which is an absolute joke.
Even Conte said they were overweight.
I mean, they are overweight. They could barely run 5 minutes. So no wonder they conceded so many goals in the last 10 minutes, because they're so fucking tired, because they're carrying around the extra amount of timber.
Definitely. So, what do you make then of we saw that video release thing then of Antonio Conte breaking down all the staff members that he wanted in the building that he felt like he needed, pretty much everything from a strength coach to a fitness coach to even just a coach that's there to tactically. I mean, what do you make of that? We now have a lot of people that Antonio Conte trusts.
Baruch Hashem. Thank God. I mean, it's about time we've seen the football management team look like an actual team instead of a skeleton crew we've seen over the last few years. It needs to be run properly. And maybe now that Levy's got his balls at the end of a very, very long chain, maybe he'll start to listen instead of just do what he wants in his own deodorant-looking head.
I mean, when was the last time, Ben, that we had I felt like a staff that we knew that actually was trusted, by the head manager, a staff that, the manager knew that he could rely on in order to get some of those little things done, all those little things right in the squad.
Well, it's got to be Harry Redknapp, isn't it? With Clive Allen and Big Joe Jordan.
Yeah.
I mean, even though they were still only 3 of them, it was a very old school crew, but still they knew that they were going to get the job done. And that's why they played very well for many years even with fucking Ryan Nelson at the back. Still, at least they shipped out performances. There was no excuses then.
Yeah.
If they lost, they lost. They won, they won. So hopefully now, with a proper team, we can actually start winning some football matches. And maybe if the guy that commented, Joe Lewis, has got a bit of second guesses about his time being the Tottenham owner, maybe he can start shipping in some cash. I'll happily run the board for him. I'll spend 300 million. Give me that money. I'll take a bullet for the team.
What do you make of maybe him having a bit of, maybe it's just him just realizing that maybe it's, like I said, like procrastinated spending. Maybe potentially it's all just Joe Lewis. Maybe he got a bit of a word from Levy. Somebody said before, maybe it was Levy, had to go to, Papa Lewis and, ask for, that bit of a, change, to help fix the squad, help fix, Levy's oopsies. Or maybe it was Lewis's daughter, being an absolute saint. And, telling him, look, listen, this is what you have to do with the rest of your money here. What do you make? Where could it be coming from?
It's probably a load of bollocks, to be honest. It's probably at the hands of the man that's going to follow myself afterwards, Mr. Brian Daigle, getting people around us and starting shouting Levy out. And now they're, fuck me, I've actually got to start running this football club properly. So good old Brian Daigle, Mr. Bobser, getting the word out. Let these chaps know they are accountable now. I'm fed up of paying, well, my family paying £1,750 to watch Tottenham a year, and then not performing on that fucking football pitch.
Yeah.
As much as I love going to Tottenham with my dad, my uncle, and my mum, I could do fucking other things, like spending £10 at the beer shop and having fucking a much better time.
Yeah.
As an expensive year, and they're not performing.
Yeah.
So it's
But no, like, the thing is, he was only going to get away with it for so long, charging that price, you know, for the crap you're seeing out there. You know what I mean? He was only going to get away with it for so long, and now that you know, now that you know, people have helped put the pressure on, it's absolutely brilliant. But look, did you watch our stream the other day on the financial fair play?
I wasn't able to. I was out somewhere. I can't actually remember where I was.
Have you seen the study?
I can barely remember what I did 5 minutes ago, to be honest. So,
Sometimes, yeah.
Did you see the financial fair play study?
I read it up, and I fucking hope so, because I'd love to see us spend 400 million and buy the league. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it, for once? Instead of us just being the chaps that sat at the back of the classroom being like, sorry for ourselves. Let's fucking be big bollocked people.
Wow, there you go.
Out.
Straight talk as always from Mr. Kaufman. Straight talk as always. Absolutely love it. I mean, honestly, you know, if you had, let's say, the 150 million that supposedly we might be spending, you know, this January window. I mean, I don't know if you're going to spend it all in one place, Ben, you know, but if you were to spend it, where would you spend it? Well,
I'd buy a second centre back, buy either De Vrij or a Skriniar, because it's clear to me that some of the chaps in the community are not going to like this, but Ben Davies and Eric Dyer are a fucking bunch of twats, and they can't defend properly. So we're going to need some proper jobs so we don't concede goals, because poor Hugo Lloris he's probably going to be going through mental problems at this rate, because he's got fucking idiots in front of him for like 8 years. Poor bastard. And we need to buy Dusan Vlahovic, because at the end of the day, we don't want backup strikers anymore. We need someone that's going to kick Harry Kane up the arse and say, all right, if you don't perform, I'm going to perform and we'll still do well. No more sitting on a sofa doing nothing. We need to start winning football matches. And it's not just Premier League matches. We need to win the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, Europa League, Emma Stone Cup, Scarlett Johansson, name every bird under the sun. We win every single cup there is.
That's what Coover is definitely saying. We're winning the Riders' Cup, American Idol. Let's see, you know, the Cup Winners' Cup. You know, anything that there is left, any cup that's available. You know, we'll
Formula
be
One World Championship. We need to win that as well.
There we go. Absolutely love it, especially with Antonio Conte at the helm. True Sets Free quickly. He says David Harris and Jack Kanicki. Sometimes I swear I don't even know how to say my own last name. Are 4 stars or big or all stars. Big yourself up. True. I will say that at the end of the day, David and I are very, very much the most. I mean, I don't know, David, for the most normal
big him
guys
up as well for giving me props as well. I don't know why he's giving me props, to be honest, but big up the Truth Sets Free.
Truth loves everybody. Truth loves everybody.
And we love him. So
we do love
that. So we'll get down to that now, so you can answer him. Truth Sets You Free. He was late on Coover. He says, "Can we sell Doherty from Ireland to Great Britain now? We love you, mate." Yeah, that was absolutely cracking by
Coover's reaction.
Big up the Truth Sets You Free. What a legend. Brad Matthew says, "The Irish Hotspur fan show, the Glastonbury and Reading Festival of Spurs YouTube community." Wow. Man, big words. Really appreciate that.
That's a lot to live up to.
Really appreciate that. Brad. Never been to either, actually. Would actually love to go, to be honest. Never been to either. Maybe that is a trip maybe I could take in the future when they're back. But big yourself up, Brad. I'm saying Brad's at home sitting now, you know, singing along with his guitar, loving life. Colin from Talk Ball is in the house. Big yourself up, my man. Truth Sets You Free size. Sorry, I meant ego is the voice of negativity and fear. The Holy Spirit inside your head is the voice of love, peace, and trust. No fear. Exactly, my man. I could not agree more with you. My man. Big yourself up.
Ego is insecurity at the end of the day. Ego is actually one's own insecurity. So big yourself up. Truth Sets Free. Definitely will be listening to maybe that better voice in our head, that loving voice, and that peace and trust. Big yourself up.
And he also says Ben Kaufman has more personality in his toe than most families I know. Love him and wish I had his accent.
My accent's pretty shit, to be honest, so I need to change it. I've tried hard. It's not going. So this is the one I'm stuck with.
We'll be in the same boat there, Ben. We're in the same boat then, but we just got to own ourselves. Got to own our own voice.
Be proud of who you are.
Big up the truth sets you free. And then Dell support 14. I thought I nearly said Delhi. My eyes was about to go red, but it doesn't. It says Dell support 14. He says, big up David and Jack. Been watching you guys from the start. Best channel in the business. Come on, you Spurs. Come on, you Flat Cap Army. Come on, you Harris Army. Look, what I would say is, I don't think we're the best channel in the business. I genuinely don't. I believe every day we can always be better. You know what I mean? But we're certainly trying to be one of the best anyway, that's for sure. And look, all we could do is just keep pushing and keep trying and see what happens. Big yourself up, Del Support. Jack, you want to say anything to Del Support?
Del Support, you could tell he's an OG. Really appreciate you, also coming out and saying that as well. Really appreciate you, probably been supporting since before I've even been here, probably, Del. So just want to say really appreciate all the continued support. The 1 year anniversary for David is coming up on the 21st. And so especially if you've been here, since probably at least from part of the beginning, you're an absolute legend, my man. You're an absolute legend. There's a lot of people that kind of, just kind of watch a bit, from the background, and really nice that you kind of come out and said this as well. And he definitely knows the lingo with the come on, you Spurs, come on, you Flat Cap Army, come on, you Harris Army. You can tell that he's an OG. You can tell that he's an OG. So big up, Del. Hopefully you're keeping well, my man. Hopefully everything is all good with you, though, this month. Hopefully everything is all good in your life. And also just really appreciate you for all the support. But like David said earlier, we can only improve. We try to constantly improve to a degree. David and I are quite hard on each other, especially when we're playing FIFA with each other, very hard on each other. But, we definitely want to always improve. So big yourself up, though, Del. Thank you for the support.
Absolute legend. But look, Ben, what else do you want to talk about our great club?
Who knows, to be honest. All I know is I'm happy that we're not losing this week. We didn't lose a single game this week, and we're going to win next week.
There's no games to be lost. I love it. Yeah. Maybe we could start on this. How about, maybe certain players that, where, didn't have international duty, to do, certain Tanguy and Dembele apparently is in the best shape of his life.
Son. Get on that diet. Off the mayo for you.
What do you make of maybe him having his own personal fitness coach that's following him around? And
all that matters is not the fitness coaches. Is hopefully there's a good well-being in the squad, and as we've seen from the guys around the club, there seems to be a better morale in the club that has been in the last 4 years. So hopefully this morale is going to be the spark that brings everything together. We're all going to challenge to do everyone better, and hopefully this is the building blocks for a very successful and very great time of our Tottenham supporting lives, because we've had no happiness since 1992 when we actually won something decent.
Yeah.
But then we had Christian Gross, so that was and his ticket.
What do you make of maybe the fact that, it's been said before by Coover, when you have a squad that actually is in shape, it's actually almost an invaluable kind of, characteristic, because we've seen, teams like Leeds before in the past. We've seen, obviously, when we were under Pochettino, we even see kind of in the case of Brentford and teams like that, teams that are in the best shape, get the results, that maybe they previously wouldn't if they weren't in such good a shape. I mean, are you happy to see that finally?
Well, when you're tired, your brain doesn't work properly. Your brain starts pumping in chemicals to your muscles to get your. Yeah. So if you're tired, how are you going to not make mistakes? So hopefully, under this, when they're not tired, when they're not huffing and puffing in the 50th minute, McDonald's FC, maybe we'll stop conceding goals late in games, and hopefully we will start grinding teams to a pulp, as we've been doing for the last 5 years under Pochettino. So need to start grinding teams into the ground again and start showing that we are the superior players. We are the superior football club, and we need to start winning football matches. And it's all mental strength, and it's all fitness, well-being, and togetherness at the end of the day. Because that's part of the reason why this team, the team has too many rats in it. The team has too many rats, and they all need to fucking go.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. And what ones do you want first out the door?
Delhi with his stupid haircut. Secondly, Winks with his stupid haircut. Ben Davis with his average haircut. because everything he does is average. Eric Dyer with just Eric Dyer because his name means bad, so get him out. If everything he does means bad, if his name means bad, how is that his football ability? Fuck me.
It's really horrible
get all the average players out of this football club because there are too many of them now.
Would those be your top 4 if you could only have 4 that leave this window? Because I think it's unrealistic, to get them all out. That's what maybe we have to put a little bit of respect on Chief, because there's only so many he can get out with one window, especially when we know that nobody even wants these players as well. We have to consider that, it's probably quite hard work to get some of this, dross out of the club.
At least with players like Dyer, Adeli, and Winksy, for some reason there's some sort of good well-being against. It's ridiculous. I don't know why people rate them. I don't rate them. I've been watching them for 8 years. So if someone likes them, they can have them for a £5, I guess. A £5 and a pack of strawberry laces.
Yeah, they can take them home with them. Take them home with them. You don't have a Winks to play with when they get home or something like that.
Someone was saying buy one, get one free. I was saying, you buy Deli, you can have Dyer and Winksy. 3 for 1.
Yeah, it's got it. Yeah, buy one get one free was
just
more
get them all out.
Yeah.
Get them all out.
Ben, would
buy
you
one
serve
get the whole
Winks,
dead one?
Would you serve Winks and Davies and Deli if they came into your coffee shop?
Only if they don't have sugar, which they won't have sugar anyway, because they probably won't come in the door. Takeaway only.
Absolutely brilliant.
I think my dad would send them out before they came in my shop. They'd be like, nope.
Do you know what? When I'm over, man, I can't wait to pop in for a coffee. I genuinely can't wait.
I sent you an email so we can always have a chat.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely brilliant. I will get in contact with you after, my man.
If you ever need coffee, just give me a shout.
Oh, geez, I will, lad. I like coffee, I have to say. It's what keeps me going, you know what I mean? So, it's the driving force behind the Irish Hotspur, good old coffee. So, definitely, my man. But look, Ben, big yourself up, my man. I really appreciate you coming on. Really appreciate support and really appreciate you waiting as well. Anything you want to say to the fabulous Harris Army out there before we let you go?
Thank you for supporting me as always. I see a lot of people in the chat bigging myself up, which is very kind of you. If you want to see my madness on a daily basis, you can find me on Instagram at the Coffee Company, KAU2SIE Company. You can find me there for all my ramblings on making crap cups of coffee, even though they're not crap, they're delicious.
I don't know. But they're stunning. But they're glorious.
If you want to find me, you can find me there, and hopefully we will see each other in the next days or so.
Same time next week, at least, Ben. If not sooner than that. Same time next week.
And hopefully we've got a win under our belt, so I'm not so miserable.
There we go.
No, look, the win is incoming. Look, with an infectious personality like yours, who's always in good humor, you know what I mean? We have to win. Ben. Big yourself up, my man.
Big up, guys. Thanks for letting me on, as always.
Give the coffee shop a plug, lad. Let people know where it is, that if they are in and around or around that area, they can pop in.
You can find us in the Woodford area on 8 the Broadway, Woodford. So if you're in the Woodford area or in that sort of the Redbridge area, you can find us there. You can find us on Instagram as well. That gives you all the information you need to know about my coffee place.
Well, absolutely brilliant. If you want to drop it in the chat there, feel free, my man. Feel free to drop it in the chat.
And don't bring Ben Davis, because I don't want to shout that much.
No Dross players you can bring with you.
No Dross.
Yeah, no Dross alone.
The coffee on him.
Definitely. But well done, Ben.
Big
Thanks as always.
Legend. And I'll be in contact with you, my man.
Thank you so much, boys.
I'll see you soon.
Appreciate you, brother. We'll be seeing you soon.
Ben Kaufman, guys. Absolutely brilliant. Always a bundle of energy. Always a bundle of joy.
Such a straight talker. It's honestly, it's a breath of fresh air sometimes. I wish I could.
He says what I want to say, but like 10 times quicker.
More efficient, Dave. Yeah, he's way more efficient than us. I'll tell you that. Truth Sets Free saying, what takes away fear, anxiety is learning that there is no such thing as death and that the soul and spirit never die and the body is only temporary. People fear death and the body. That's the root issue. That's very, very I don't even know how to respond to that. I guess there is maybe life after death, I guess is maybe what he might be saying. But at the same time, we do have to realize that there's only so much that we can, you have to accomplish what you can in your life, and that you don't have to need to have any fear and anxiety. But I think at the same time, though, it's very, very normal too, and it's very, very acceptable to have a bit of fear and anxiety, especially going into anything in life, though, truth. But really appreciate this, especially all the spirituality. It's really, hopefully it goes a long way for people. But big yourself up, my man.
Legend, truth sets you free. What a man. Faz Rapfar says, Kane out, only joking. Love to see David's reaction. You won't get one off me, only that is former's temporary, class is permanent. Big yourself up, Faz Rapfar. Big yourself up, my man. Look, I've already done the Lord's work. I don't need to do it anymore. Now it's time for Kane to take over the mantle. Truth sets you free. If two dodgy guys knock on your door and their last name's ending about, just back up and hand them your condiments, all of them now.
What was it? It was Philip Brady the other day. Somebody was saying, he was having a bit of dodgy internet one day, Philip Brady, and I think they were saying, two of Antonio Conte's men were outside his door, trying to fix it. I would say anybody, hide your condiments, especially if maybe, somebody's to come over, you definitely want to hide the condiments because, Antonio Conte's going around all of North London, making sure that there's no ketchup and mayo within at least a couple miles distance of the stadium. So definitely everybody got to hide it underneath the floorboards and whatnot, hide it up in the top shelf of the pantry. Got to hide the condiments, everybody, because it's going out soon. Like the tea towels in Newcastle, you got to hide it. You got to hide it because people are going to be after it.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Big up the truth set you free. Everyone, make sure you keep smashing that like button, keep smashing that subscribe button, and feel free to get in a super chat too. 3 guests left, 15 minutes in or each. Let's see what they have to say. The next guest is Jacko.
The legend, Brian Daigle himself. Bring him on, everybody. Let's bring him on. Mr. Daigle, how are we?
Good evening, boys, or good early evening to me and Jack and everyone on this side of the pond. Good late evening to everyone back home. How are we doing?
Doing all right. It's been very, honestly, I think, very necessary, kind of spiritual as well as just, necessary kind of, evening to be able for everybody to just connect with one another, maybe on a deeper level than ever before. It's been very open and honest. It's been very just honestly kind of eye-opening, hearing everybody's, kind of struggles, hearing everybody's honesty, everybody's, kind of bravery. It's been actually quite remarkable this evening. I will say I'm a bit lost for words with how loving it's been in the chat tonight. Brian, how about yourself?
I mean, first of all, before I go on about mental health, as everyone will know, something very close to my heart. I just want to do 3 bits of housekeeping. I want to apologise to you, David and Jack, to Dermot, and to Josh for last Saturday when I couldn't come on streams because I wasn't feeling well. So I just wanted to come on and say that about that. So I do apologise. I will make it up to each and every one of you. Mental health. Okay, so you two know me very, very well and have known me for over a year now, and have known that my 2 aims in YouTube and mainly in life basically is to get Daniel Levy out of the club, and secondly, to address mental health, which is something I've suffered and battled for over 20 years. Back in the day when I did it, it was a huge, huge stigma. Obviously, there's still that stigma. It's getting better and better and better. And then obviously on my old channel, Tottenham Away, me and Brian Island did a very special show called May the 4th Be With You, where I really opened up about my mental health and my battle against drugs, violence, cocaine, and all the mental health struggles that I've had to go through. So big up, Graham. And yeah, it's a huge thing. There's loads of people in this chat that I speak to, not going to mention names for obvious reasons. And it's something that I'm always very, very, very passionate about. So to hear it being spoken about the way it is right now, honestly, from where I came from when it was such a stay away, to hearing a community talk about it so openly, is one of the most humbling things I've ever seen, especially in this chat tonight. And an exclusive for you guys coming live from the Irish Hotspur fan show is Brian Island and I are doing another mental health special. It is going to be in January, just after Christmas, a New Year, which obviously could be a bad time for people as well, whether it be they've been by themselves, don't know what's going on with COVID in the countries they live in. Obviously, financial burden, financial stress obviously comes a burden when credit card bills and stuff comes in January. And I spoke about my mental health the last time, but this time I'll be speaking more about it, about what it's done to me. Like I always will be very open. I always believe in being open about this. One of the main reasons I went to England is I was on the verge of doing stupid things here, like going crazy, and my violence was about like I wanted to kill my landlord, like literally tear him. And I'm not talking nicely. My anger management was becoming an issue, and missing my nephews and my niece and everything. So the reason I went back home was to push the reset button and calm down, which I have done, thank God, and I'm back to being full of beans. But thankfully, I have a very, very supporting wife who met me in Israel when I was an alcoholic, when I was a cocaine addict, and she's seen the rough side of me. So always remember that speaking to someone, especially your family, it may be hard, but believe me, it makes it so much easier. It makes it so much easier. I mean, one of the tattoos I have on me from when I went 5 years sober was a quote that I came out with was, never let a past nightmare get in the way of a future dream.
Yeah.
And when I heard people like Coover talking, and Catman Jess, who is a Canadian, who I want to speak to personally and reach out to, so if anyone gets in contact, I've got no issues whatsoever. Just reach out to me on social media, whatever. People like Coover, who said that he gave into what was holding him back and he came on the stream, and this is what it does. This is what it does. Don't let whatever happened, I learn from it, or you can learn from it. And hitting rock bottom, it may sound like the most disgusting place in the world to be, but in fact, it's the best place to be, because you rebuild yourself the way you want to be, and you can design where you're going, what you want to do, where you want to go. So always, always, always don't do this alone, because there are people, whether it be like Dermot was saying, the Samaritan, whatever. David, I heard you say as well, you're very open, you give out your personal details. I'm very, very open with mine and got no problem. Listen, it's a time where mental health is really getting the attention it needs, and it's fantastic to see it. So no one ever be scared. Use it as your platform to be a better you.
Yeah,
really well said there, Brian. And
really
I think and I also appreciate that what you just said. I feel like you're probably right. Even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, used to be a bit of a stigma, to kind of was like a keep it to yourself kind of thing. And now it's no longer that. And it's nice to see people be able to be open and honest with each other and be able to, be vulnerable. And like I said, in the best sort of way. Well said, Brian. Well said. But I really also big up everybody. Also head on to Tottenham on Tour, especially mark that on your calendar. That January mental health show that Brian will be discussing. The first one was an absolute, just such a necessity, such a brilliant. I think it was, I don't even know. It was just the time flew by when I watched it. And so everybody, I think you can really, find a lot of solace in it. But Brian, anything you want to talk about maybe as well tonight?
I have a question I want to start off with.
Yeah. I know who this question is going to be about as well. Let me think. Go on, you tell me what we're going to discuss about Harry Kane.
No, not about Harry Kane.
Okay.
So you obviously seen the financial fair play.
Oh, you're going down that road. Okay.
Yeah.
So
look, I want to hear your complete thoughts on it. I am just running to the Jacks. I'll be back in 1 minute. But look, get yourself started. Let's get into it, Brian. This is what we wanted to do.
You can go for a piss, you go for a dump, you go for a curry. I'll still be talking about leaving. So off you go, my friend. Off you go. I guess we're talking. I will, Jack. Here we go. Come here. Story time with Daigle. So here we go. So that 400 million. Do you know what? I hit the roof, and I hit the roof, but not for the reason people think I'm going to hit the roof for. It's not because, oh, look, we have it. What really pissed me off with this is the fact that we've missed out on players. And I'm going to use Tomiyasu as an example. Over 2 million. As we've lost over Dybala, over 14 million.
Yep.
Now, the players that we have lost over 3 to 5 to 10 million, all of this could have been dealt with. That's what pissed me off. All this, forget that we can go out and spend 400, or is it 400 that we can actually have, or is it what we can spend with? Forget all that. It's the fact that it just goes to shows we weren't backing out of these people because of FFP. We weren't trying to. It's that we simply wouldn't pay the money. I mean, Glenn Hoddle's released a new book called The Playmaker, and in that he talks about, and there's a chapter about it, what went wrong at Spurs. And what he has said went wrong with Spurs is he wanted, as a front two, for the grand total of 12 million, was Fernando Morientes and Samuel Eto'o. And Daniel Levy wouldn't pay 12 million for the pair.
Samuel
when you
Eto'o
hear
as
Glenn
well, one of the
Hoddle,
greatest of all time.
so if you think of that strike force, and at that time, that was before they hit the big heights that they did. And you're talking £12 million. So this is what pisses me off. This is what really, really pisses me off. It's not the fact that, oh my God, we've got this windfall. Yep, we're going to go shopping mad now. It's the fact that for years and years and years and years and years, these players like the Fernandes, like the Dybala, like the Grealish, like the Skriniar, when we were, you know what, when we were bidding 32 or whatever it was, and into like 42 or whatever the fee was, you can see there's 400 million we can potentially spend, potentially without breaking FFP. So for that 5, 6, 7.5 million, could have been done. Wouldn't have had to go and spend on 3 other defenders to try and solve one defender. It could have been signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah.
Fernandes could have been there instead of going through all the shit that we've had to go through.
It's almost pennies though. Like we actually think about it, Brian. It'd be like, sometimes we find ourselves in the grocery store. You're like, do I want to pay that extra 70 cents, for the nicer pair of eggs? It's really, that's what it is though. When you think about it, in Levy's case, it really is like, maybe I will spend a bit more on the Ritter Sport instead of the Hershey's chocolate or something like that.
You know what I mean? It's like when you go, do you know what? It's like, I'll give you a prime example. When I first moved here, I think I told you this story, Jack, but I won't go into the full details of how this actually ended, this story. But when I first moved to Canada, I went shopping with my wife and my mother-in-law to do the first shop. And obviously, I just moved to Canada, and this was like almost 4 years ago. And I was like, okay, we're going shopping. And I saw Quaker's Oats. And Quaker's Oats is from Scotland, and it's a brand I know and I love. So I was like, you know what? I want Quaker's Oats. And my mother-in-law was like, but no, you've got President's Choice, which is like the house brand, and it's cheaper. I'm like, but I don't care if it's cheaper. I know I like Quaker's Oats. What if I don't like President's Choice, and then I've wasted all the money on President's Choice as opposed to getting something that it's like Quaker's Oats is the ready-made player, and President's Choice is kind of like let's build for the future. And like you said, it's just pennies. It's just
or
pennies
not even
and
that.
dollars.
In some cases, it's just the worst version of something. Like that's not even if it's something for the future. Especially what is it? Is the Gio Lo Celso? Wasn't that we went for Gio instead of Bruno Fernandes? I think they're around the same age when you think about it. They're to a degree. Came from could have come into the club in the same position. So it'd be like paying for the worst brand. It's just like paying for a knockoff Coca-Cola or something.
Yeah, like Roller Cola, as Peter Kay fans would say. But James Watson, there is a huge, and I do mean huge, Spurs Toronto base. We always, the home of the official Toronto Spurs, and I'll give them a big plug here, is the Scotland Yard. It's on the Esplanade downtown by the CN Tower. Even if you go onto their website and you scroll down to the bottom, it will say the Scotland Yard official home of the Toronto Spurs. We are there. They open up for us every single game, even 7 a.m. games. They open at 6:30 for us in the morning. We are always there, and I will be there Sunday for the Leeds game.
You're not alone, James.
You'll not believe me. There is a huge Spurs community. If you're on Facebook, just 1 second. 1 second.
No, look.
Bro, I'm just on YouTube. I'll put you straight back.
While you were dealing with that, Brian, I'll just take the super chat. Truth Set You Free says, unpopular opinion, Chris Cowling is a poor man's Pochettino. Looks just like him. Just kidding, of course. He's great too. Big up.
He actually is kind of a doppelganger. He actually is kind of a bit of a doppelganger.
I told him that. I told him he looks like Mauricio Pochettino. I did tell him that. No, and he knows he does too. Look, Chris is a good guy.
Hair too.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no, he is. He does. Look, Chris is a good guy. I've had the pleasure of speaking to him and that, and he's a good guy. And look, he's good at what he does as well. He brought all the stadium updates and everything else. Big up, Chris Cowling. And then we have a couple here for you, Brian. Timman 007 says, big up, guys. Big up, Brian. How many points do you think we would get from our next games? Leeds, Burnley, Brentford, Norwich, Brighton.
Take it away, Brian. How about you? What do you say we get from the Leeds game?
Let's keep that. First of all, Timman 007 is a great supporter of all channels. And I always see him so big. I mean, these people, the whole community, but everyone, but big up Tim Man, because I always see him everywhere. Leeds, I think we're going to, do you know what? To play this new formation that we're getting, obviously, that Conte has played or been training for the last 2 weeks, I don't think there's a better team in the league to play than Leeds to literally let them go free because Leeds are just like, right, we're playing one way only. We're going to attack. So it's not like, right, you need to break them down. So I think this game is going to be a humdinger. I really think we're looking at a 4-5-6-1 for us. I'm that confident with this one, just because the style Leeds play. Burnley away is always a hard game. It doesn't matter what the idea is, and the thing that we got to look at, all these games potentially look winnable. You look at Norwich now; they've got new manager bounce with Dean Smith. You never know what's gonna happen there. And also, what you've got to remember right now, from when we get back to playing on Sunday until mid-January, it's non-stop. It's non-stop fixtures, non-stop. So for me, what Antonio Conte was doing during this 2-week international break wasn't just that training regime and getting players fit. He was looking at, right, I've got this squad in depth. I've got to try and keep this fit, and not how am I going to use it game management to keep what players in for what game. And if you look at it, I think the games after that, where we got Leicester and Liverpool, he's going to want the full, like his 11 that he has right now. In his head, the 11 that he has as my starting 11 before the transfer window, you'd say Leicester and Liverpool, which are the two games I think coinciding after this little run, they have to be like the full team.
Yep.
Leeds at home, everyone, if we get everyone back with a clean bill of health from international, I know there's a couple of niggles, but we'll see. He'll go pretty full strength. Burnley away.
We'll beat them.
Yep. Oh, it's
we
Brentford
did it
at
under
home.
Nuno, I guess. We struggled
Thank God
to
it's Brentford
get
at home. Thank God it's Brentford at home, because Brentford away, I probably would have said something different.
Yeah,
I would say, do you know what? I'd say 9 points guaranteed for, or I'd like to say guaranteed for our home games. And if we were to get 4 points, do you know what? Even if I'd
you
had
could
to
go
take
for
a couple
12.
of
I think you should go for 12, probably.
I'd even go for 12 and say we'll pick up a winner at Burnley, because Brighton have been playing good football, like Coover said as well. They have been playing great football, and like you said with the Liverpool game, they just showed the difference from last season to this season. So I reckon you got the home games as 3 wins. I would say Brighton a draw. Burnley, I'd probably say a draw as well. But if I had to say a 4th win, probably Burnley. But if you were to say to me right now, we're going to take 11 points from that 15, I'll bite your hand off.
What would you do for 13 points then, Brian?
Well, I don't know. It's not past 9 o'clock in the evening here in Toronto, so I can't say what.
For me, though, Tin Man, look, I think we beat the wannabe Spurs, which is Leeds. I think we beat Ginger Homer Simpson at Burnley. I think we beat Brentford. I think we smashed Norwich. And I'll be honest with you, I think we put 9 and 3/4 past Harry Potter and he's want to beat Brighton, to be honest with you. For me, I want to smash them too. I'm going full out 15 points, sitting inside top 4 on Christmas Day. I have my big fat turkey.
So just another thing, James Weston has just put in the comments that he didn't know about the pub. He'll be there Sunday. It's a 15-minute drive for him. James, first of all, you've got to make sure you have your receipt to show you've had 2 COVID vaccines, because it's still quiet here in the pub. We really adhere to their strict rules. And also, normally you need to book, but what I've done is I've got myself a big table with a few spare seats. So just make sure you come and find me. You come and sit at my table, and I'll welcome you. Then feel free to join Toronto Spurs. We've got our own membership and affiliation and everything, where we do a lot of good and stuff with charities as well. But yeah, James, just come and look for me on Sunday. I'll be there for about 11 o'clock our time, ready for the game, and you'll come and sit at my table.
Lovely. There you are, James. You're going to be welcome with open arms. There's a seat waiting for you, James. And honestly, I hope you enjoy yourself, my brother, because I know Brian Daigle will show you a good time. I'll show you a good time. But big yourself up, Tin Man. Really big yourself up as well. True Sets Free says, where is Daigle's armband? He's our Roy Keane, which is actually the highest compliments coming from Truth, by the way. He loves Roy Keane. And he says, Bob Spur is the Paul Scholes. That means he's the distributor. He's, passing balls, pinging balls left and right. And I guess he's saying your tattoo is your armband. I would say you probably have a different armband.
You know what? I have been wearing because I haven't been feeling well. I did have a jumper on, like a pajama jumper on. But I thought, you know what? There's not a chance I'm going to come on here and people aren't going to mention that tattoo. So I thought I'd just quickly get a T-shirt, because it's easier to, let's see if I can get it. There you go.
That's the baby we wanted to see.
That's
there you
the
are.
baby.
Sets are free.
Well done, I will say, by the artist. Well done, actually. Good filling in.
Yeah, it's neat, actually. Fair play.
It's very
That's
neat.
yeah, that's
It's
neat.
very neat. Well
Now
done,
we need
Brian.
the Irish Hotspur on the other one. What can we go Brian into now?
I realise now my body can be a canvas for sponsorship. So basically, instead of a GoFundMe, if people donate enough to the Daniel Levy Out Fund, I will get stuff tattooed. But it needs to be big donations. So that's what we're trying to do. I've realised.
Don't say that. You see the two sets free set up all these fake businesses and get stupid stuff in. He also says our players aren't good enough, Brian. How many players do we need world class? Please be honest. Let's not sugarcoat it. We want trophies.
Yeah, I mean, right. Let's just break down. First of all, when it comes to transfers, for me, transfer target 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and Jack, I can say his name now because I've said it so much. Dusan Vlahovic. Okay,
Bring it in.
For me,
Bring it
for
in.
me,
Well done.
Right now, if we go into the transfer market, forget what. How can I say? Right, what we need to do for me, and this is my own personal opinion, there are two essential positions we need to fill. That is obviously Dusan Vlahovic, and that's not even we need a striker. We need him and him only, as to come in. And like someone said before, not just to give. I'm not using that word backup anymore. He is genuine competition. You look at what Jota did to Liverpool.
Yeah.
When they just freshened it up, we need someone to come in and freshen it up, and that's what he does.
Great example.
And the second position we have to fill is the playmaker.
Yep.
For me, in January, if we just address those two issues, I will be over the moon because that's what we need. Yes, we need defenders. Don't get me wrong, we desperately need defenders. But right now, there are enough of them to get the job done until the summer. Don't get me wrong, if a player comes up that we can get at a decent rate, obviously go get him. But if we had to go like Liverpool did with we will always use this example with the Coutinho money. They went and addressed the two issues they desperately needed fixing.
Yeah.
And we desperately, and no other Spurs fan can argue this, we need a striker, and we have done for 6 years.
Yep.
And we need a playmaker. We do not have these two positions. All the others, they may not be the best, but we have them. So if we have to push the boat out to get these two types of players in, which generally are the most expensive, of course, because they're the highlight makers, they're the showstoppers and whatever.
Yeah.
We need that. If you look at it, slate Ben Davies, slate Davinson Sanchez, slate whatever. You look at the Everton game, they kept a clean sheet. What we haven't addressed, listen, it doesn't matter which way you look at it. If someone had said to you at the beginning of the season, Tottenham Hotspur will have Harry Kane and Heung-min Son and whatever, and they will go 5 consecutive halves of football without a shot on target. Forget a goal, a shot on target, you would have been like, I'll give you every single penny I fucking own, and let me just get about 10 of my mates to chip in with that as well.
Yeah.
Because so those are the areas that need
unbelievable. Yeah.
They are the areas to me that have to be addressed. Yes, we need. I'd love to get a Skriniar. I would absolutely go nuts to have a Skriniar. But if you told me right now we got to do some Vlahovic and a playmaker, I can't see it. I mean, for the striker, I know the player I want, and I think we all know that's who we want. And what I've loved about Dusan is whether you want to say Kane throwing his toy out, or not even him, like other players that have wanted out of the club, that have thrown their toys out. Dusan Vlahovic has said, I'm not signing a contract, but until I go, I'm going to give you absolutely everything I've got.
Man, still banging him in.
And you know what? It shows you a great respect about his character, his attitude, his mentality. So for me, it's him all day long. There is no second person. I want Dusan Vlahovic, mainly because I've been able to say his name after 7 months of struggling.
So it's a beautiful name to say, though. It's a beautiful name to say. Once you get used to it, it starts rolling off the tongue.
It just rolls off the tongue now. But as Jack will know, every Friday when he was on our show, I had to go, Jack. It was like he was filling in. I just couldn't say that name. So it's him. But I can't think of the playmaker. You know, I mean, right now, I think if you look at it with playmakers, you can't say there's a host of them out that you think, right, he's available.
We think the playmaker could be a holding midfielder. What do you say about that? It could be someone that, is more of that Paul Scholes, pings ball left and right. That's what we think the playmaker could be.
It really could be. I mean, you've got to look at it. You've got the two types of playmaker. You've got the Christian Eriksen who can pass the ball through the eye of a needle, or you've got, and I'm just saying this guy's name for an example, not him. You got a Coutinho who used to be able to take players on and jinx and create space and maybe have a cracker of a shot, you've got those two types of creative players, and it's just trying to establish which one Conte wants. But whichever one Conte wants, I back. So for me, I mean, but getting back to the world class players, I mean, at the moment, I see genuinely world class. Obviously, Son and Kane. Lloris, you've got to say, well, all right, his distribution is shockingly bad, but I mean, you just look at his saves in the Europa League, Conference League, outstanding. The shot stopping, there is no one better, and you have to say Romero. And I think that is what you would say is the genuine world class. Like if you speak to other teams and supporters, they say, "Yeah, do you know what? That's what it's a good spine, but it's not good enough for Tottenham Hotspur."
Yeah. Well said. Yeah. I think Romero is galactic class, not even world class. He's galactic class. But True Sets Free with another one saying, Harry Kane must secretly hate our inept championship level midfield. Please fix in January, Mr. Conte. This is what I think we've been saying, True Sets Free, all along over here. This is why David and I have really been, touting the Brozovic's of the world, the Kamara's of the world, because those guys can basically control games. We have nobody in the midfield that can keep possession, nobody that can put the players in the right positions in order to score. You don't necessarily need like a number 10 right there, in order to do that. You just need someone that can hold the ball and say, give me the ball. I will control this game. Like David is saying, take the ball off of Ben Davies, take the ball off of Eric Dyer and just say, give me the ball and I will control this game. Almost like exactly what Luka Modric does for plenty of teams, what, plenty of other players do for plenty of other teams, where just someone that controls the game. That's what we need. And I will say, I think Harry Kane has absolutely hated that inept midfield. But big yourself up. True Sets Free. Lazy 8. Nick in the house, someone who's donated this very, very, very fantastic equipment towards me, someone who's an absolute gem of the Harris Army, has said, oh man, the Daigle effect is in. Oh man, Daigle in effect. Glad to see you feeling better, Brian. Thanks for the most effective trip across since D-Day.
So I've got, with that, first of all, I love this dude. Nick knows how much I love him. He is absolutely incredible. And I can remember the first time he came on your show and he was worried because I was coming on after him and he didn't know if we were going to come on together. And he was like, oh my God, he's going to be leaving out and I don't know. And he is a top dude. And
he's
what I will say, just so people know, and people know, obviously, like Jack will know and Dave know from when I said it about the NFL protests, yada, yada, yada. If we get to the end of January, let's say we get to February the 1st, and there's the bullshit excuse why this didn't happen and that didn't happen. And let's just say we got a striker in, but it wasn't of the class of Dusan, and we lost out on a couple of players because we wouldn't spend. You can guarantee, on my stand by me, I will be back in February over the pond to carry on protesting with a host of other people. But this time it will be 7 weeks minimum because I'm not going until this battle is done.
Love that.
I will literally be coming home. Obviously, I'll need to pop back every so often and say after every 7 weeks, come back for a bit. But I will be coming back regularly until this parasite is gone. If Conte is not backed in January, when I say backed, I don't. You know what? I don't even know if we can get Dusan Vlahovic in January to come January. I don't even know if that's viable. But if we could buy Dusan, guaranteed signed, he comes in the summer, that I'm happy with. Because it means he's not to have, we couldn't get him in Christmas, we're going to try and sign. It needs to be signed, sealed and delivered in January. Whether that's to come automatically or he's on loan with Fiorentina till the end of the season and then comes back at the start of next season. Dusan Vlahovic needs to be signed, or players of that quality that is a Conte type signing, not a Levy type signing. And it's not got to be, these deals have got to be done quick. Not, let's drag it out for 17 days and then fall through. And then if Conte is not back seriously, I will be back in London in February. and I ain't going anywhere.
The job won't be finished. And also, Lazy Eight,
Yeah,
absolutely love that comment. That is a hilarious comment. So pick yourself up, Nick. Very clever of you. We're going to get through these, Brian, because a lot of them aren't for you.
Okay.
Coover 99 says, when we celebrate the first Daigle Day, which is, I think, a coined term by Philip Brady, by the way. He said, when we celebrate the first Daigle Day next year on October 30th, will you give us a special message from the top of the shrine we built for you? So Daigle, Philip Brady, like you said, on night that the Levy out chants were heard loud and clear from that Man United match. That was the day that marked Daigle Day for all of your hard work that you've done over there. What do you say?
So, do you know what it is? First of all, this is also, you know what? I have to say, and I get so emotionally worked up about this in a good way, because obviously, I mean, I've received nothing but love, respect, joy, credit, blah, 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 from everything I was doing. I know after the Manchester United game, Aaron said, Brian, listen, you've got to get onto the Irish. Everyone's waiting to hear from you. We are Tottenham TV. We're like, Brian, you've got to get on with everyone. And listen, I played a very small part or I say a bit bigger than a small part, but obviously, for a year or over a year, I've been banging on this drum, and I've been getting louder and louder and louder. And to start off with, it was, Brian's an idiot, Brian's this, Brian's that, Brian. And then obviously gradually, the sea started to turn. And obviously, then when I came to England, and I did it for the first time on your channel, on this exact show, when I did the changes for Spurs, when I came on all ultra calm and it seemed to get a much. And then obviously I did what I had to. I have the platform to be able to do this, and there's people in the back end that have done so much. But the love that I've received and comments like this are so humbling and so. I don't understand. I'm grateful. I don't deserve it. Obviously, I know what people are trying to say. I went over there and fought a battle, and blah. I was fighting for people like my family that couldn't get there, your families that couldn't get there, Jack that couldn't get there. I was lucky enough that I had the means to get home to England. I could stay at my parents, and funny enough, I'm quite outspoken, and I'm up for a battle, and I got to do something. And obviously, I'm kind of in the public. When I say public, I mean within the Spurs community. But having Daigle Day, I think my wife will hate it because it's her birthday the next day, and she'll try to steal it. I'm trying to steal her thunder. So I'll be like, listen, darling, maybe your fucking birthday, but today is Daigle Day, so I don't know how that one will go down.
Father's Day. It's like a Father's Day.
But honestly, it's incredible. It's honestly incredible. And guys, like I said, I did this, and I will continue to do this for everyone that can't get to London or doesn't have the chance to be as vocal or whatever. And I always have been on this mission, on this topic, and I will always do so, mate. So everything I achieve is because everyone that has listened to me, everyone like you two that have given me the platform, that's what got me the attention. That's what got me to England and gave me the motivation to say, right, listen, there's people that can't fight, I fucking will. So everything I've done is because of you guys as well. So it's not Daigle Day, it's We Beat Levy Day. Let's call it that.
Maybe it's another version of a D-Day. But Brian, I think what you just showed, though, just quickly, is you did show that you are a man of your word. You showed that you can stand up for what you believe in, and I think that says so much about maybe people. A lot of people feel like they can't do that, and you proved them wrong. You also proved Levy certainly wrong in a lot of ways. But Brian, we do have to get to a few more guests. You've absolutely smashed it tonight. Where can people find you? Where can people find more of this? This beautiful mantra, this beautiful logic, all of this. Where can people find more of you?
They can find me at the home of Daigle is Tottenham on Tour, but obviously I am always available to come on people's shows, just like this great channel, which I've been coming for a very, very long time. Me and Brian Ireland had our first, let's say, board meeting last Friday about loads of stuff we want to do with the channel. And one of the things we need to do, and we've been saying for ages, and I've spoken to David about this, and I've spoken to you about this, is we need to have a Friday night with the two Brians with you two, because we need to get that sorted. We've been dying to get you two guys back on. I'm on a lot of channels, but obviously my main channel, we're on the push for 1,000 now. We've got over 730 odd. And like I said, being in England really did give me or us that push. Obviously, we're on that big milestone to 1,000. And like I said, just keep an eye out. The dates are to be confirmed, but I'll come on beforehand and talk more about the mental health one we're doing, where it's going to be Sean Wellborn again from Canadian Mental Health. We've actually got, and I actually meant to mention them at the beginning, I just want to have a big shout out because they're part of a Facebook group that we've affiliated ourselves, me and Brian Oda Efasa, but there's a woman in there called Tara Hancock, and it's when Brad said it. She is and I'm going to send it to one of your two WhatsApp, and if you could just put the link in, because obviously I'm not admin, so the link is actually a great charitable organisation called Sports Against Suicide, where they try to get loads of people into sport to obviously and through counselling and just keep people active. So I'll WhatsApp you both the link, and if you could just pin it up to their Facebook page. Like I said, that's where you can find me. Tottenham on tour. I'll shut up because I've got verbal diarrhea. I'll let you carry on with the rest of your show. Love you both. Love everyone in the channel. Love everyone in the chat. Have a great evening. And as always, Levy out.
Levy out. Well done, Brian. And everybody check out Tottenham on Tour. What a sign-off as well, Dave. Honestly, what a sign-off. Tottenham on Tour, everybody. Tottenham on Tour, everybody. Head on over there to see more of Mr. Daigle as well. You'll probably at some point, hopefully in the near future, David and I will be joining them. But they do got tons of great work over there. The push to 1,000 is on, just like over here, the push to 5K. But over there, they've definitely started up recently. Daigle and Brian, they're trying to do big things over there, as well as they have a great list of shows that seems like they've just planned out for themselves. So I love to see it. I love to hear it. Everybody, if you want to see more Brian Daigle, head on over to Tottenham on Tour. True Sets Free saying, for a month I said Hotspur isn't good enough and fans batter me, but maybe he is great around as a playmaker, as a defensive midi. Your thoughts? I think Hotspur has been very, very, very great. I think he's just experiencing his first bad patch of form, actually, Truth. I think that's kind of the sad, case with Hotspur is, finally he's getting a bit of a bad patch of form. And, people are kind of there to, slate him for it. David and I have said before, it's very easy for us to kind of continue to be hard on our best players. You might actually look at, the last Hotspur 2 degree has been one of our best players, the past 2 seasons. It's just now that he's, encountering a bit of a bad patch. And I think he's well entitled to have a bad patch when you think about it. I feel like his best position is that destroying kind of midfielder. He doesn't need to play in that holding midfielder role. He just needs to be that destroyer that we all know he's can be. There's no better person in the world that being able to knock someone off the ball, win it back cleanly. I call it the Hotspur shoulder, the Viking shoulder. I think I still stand by Hotspur. I think he's actually a fantastic player to this day, Truth. And I think if you watched last season as well, you definitely would agree with me. But big yourself up, my man. I think, that would be my answer to you, is that I do feel like he just needs to be in the side no matter what, because he does a lot of the defensive work that no one else wants to do it. And he does it better than anyone else, in my opinion. But big yourself up, Truth. I really appreciate the super chat there. He also says here, Spurs fans are number one everywhere we go. We are here, there for each other, no matter our differences or different beliefs. Just want the best for you all. Really appreciate that, Truth. And also, absolutely, there's no better fans in the world than Spurs fans, and there's no better army in the world than the Harris Army. And so big yourself up, Truth. And also really appreciate all the support and all the love, my man. And he also says, Daigle Day rolls off the tongue. Meant to be. It is meant to be. It's the other D-Day. Truth Sets Free. Big yourself up. Daigle Day. Daigle Day. And also, he also says, great playing alongside playmaker. I meant. Exactly. I think that's probably what I was seeing. I didn't even see that then, Truth. We're in the same mindset, my man. We're in the exact same mindset. So big yourself up, brother.
Well, an absolute legend. Big yourself up, Truth Sets You Free. Big yourself up, my man. Look, next guest, let's bring him on. It's Chris. It's our man, Chris. How are you keeping, my man?
All right, lads. How you doing? Right, first of all, I just want to say big up Brian Daigle. What a true gentleman and a true legend.
Yes.
Secondly, a bit of seriousness before I crack the jokes. Yeah. Anybody suffering with mental health, do not hold it back and keep it inside. Just always talk to somebody. My numbers, David's got my number, so is Jack. You can always WhatsApp me whatever time you want, okay? Do not hold it in. It's not good for you. Believe me, talking helps. And I've been there, so I know exactly how you feel.
Well said. Big yourself up, Chris. Big yourself up.
Said. Very brave,
offering your services, lad. Or not your services, but offering you yourself, to...
David, I've been there. I've been in that low point where the depression gets hold of you and you can't find a way out. But there is always a light at the end of that tunnel. So if anybody needs to talk at any time, my number's open 24/7 for anybody.
Yeah.
We are Tottenham and we're one big family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well said, Chris. Well said, my
Couldn't
man.
agree more, Chris. I could not agree more, my man. But look, what do you want to talk about, lad?
Well, Jack, I need to correct you on something, man. I'm no longer the comedian. My role's been well and truly shafted by Ben Kaufman and the Coover.
Why can't we have two
downgraded to
comedians?
League
Why
Two.
can't we have three comedians, Chris? You know, sometimes you need 3 center mids. You know, you can't just have
Well,
one center mid.
it feels like I've downgraded like Harry Winston to League Two.
No, you've just upped your game, Chris. You've just upped your game. You know, and it's not all
Yeah, I
comedy
know.
anymore. It's you know, it's
I
like
know,
expert
but-
football analysis. You know,
Yeah.
come on, don't put yourself
Well,
down like that.
No, man.
You're still my
All
comedian.
jokes
You're still
aside,
my
it's like,
comedian.
right, the 400 million, if we have it for the Fair Play League, if Daniel Levy had 400 million pounds to spend, yeah, my man would like he'd be having a heart attack. He'd be like, it's over 2 million, so I can't spend that. That'll be the first one. Like, can't do it. I don't want to go to the bank.
Chris, I just
You know
want to
what I
say
mean?
though, you're still my comedian because I know you remember those days when I used to send in super chats to David, you know, making you answer the toughest questions in the world. And I would see your face
Jack,
just
you
absolutely
just reminded me
twist
of something.
sideways and everything.
Yeah. Jack, you just remind me of something. David, I've got a bone to pick with you, son. That comment about Ben Davis earlier on, that ain't forgotten, man. Hurtful.
Look, you picked them. You picked them,
Yeah,
Chris.
But David, remember one thing. He had almost a man of a match performance when I actually picked him in the team. So,
No,
what does
he
that
didn't
tell
have
you?
an almost man of the match performance. His
Almost.
performance was over.
It was him.
It was an almost man of the match
No.
performance to Ben Davies standards.
Yeah, but him and Emerson Royal were actually more or less pretty much just on par with each other. So, the one time I actually selected for my team, he actually done all right. But Alex Davis, if you're listening, don't get excited. It's a one-off mistake. It won't happen again.
Don't think that. Yeah, don't think we agree. Don't think we agree. Yeah, Chris is setting the record straight. He's setting the record straight.
Right. Just setting the record straight now. It was a one-off mistake. It won't happen again.
Well,
He's
time
saying
will
that to
tell.
Dark Sun G.
Time
He's
will
still
tell.
apologizing to Dark Sun G to this
Sorry,
day.
Dodson G. I apologize for unbelief. That comes off and everything for him. Yeah, but yeah. I saw Harry Kane scored four goals again tonight, yeah? He better do that on Sunday. He better show up on Sunday like he's been doing for England. Now he's got Conte and there's no excuse.
Yeah.
No excuses now for Harry Kane, my man. No excuses.
Do you feel like,
What's
you
the
know,
difference?
is Leeds an excellent opportunity? Is Leeds an excellent opportunity for him to hit the ground running? You know, a very open side. You know, they play a certain kind of football that'll, you know, promotes
Leeds
attacking
know how-
football.
Leeds only have one style of football, and that's just attackers, yeah? That's going to leave them wide open. And with Conte's formation, I think we're going to eat them alive. If we don't score a minimum of 4 goals, I'll be surprised.
What I will say just quickly on Harry Kane is, look, I know he's scoring goals for England right now, but if he doesn't come back and score against Leeds and we're not creating chances, you know, you can't turn on him. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to turn on him, but all I'm saying is, David, he better put his boots back on.
The difference between England and Tottenham is that England are putting chances on a plate for him, Tottenham haven't. And that's why you're seeing the goals. And it's exactly what I've been talking about all along. People can slate Harry Kane all they want. You put service in there, he'll get you the goals. It's been proven at England level.
Yeah, but now, David, he's got to start upping his game again, not this just jogging like he's been doing in the previous games, David. We've seen it. His effort went downhill because the team's effort went downhill. So now he needs to pick himself back up again and start pushing himself again. But to be fair, let's see what happens on Sunday. Leeds. That's going to be a good game. And oh, by the way, David, one of the streams in the next couple of weeks, I will be streaming live from the Tottenham Stadium because I'm back in London. So you'll see me standing outside the Tottenham Stadium, streaming from outside there.
Nice. I like to see that. I like to see you be going to a game. That's what I want to hear, my man.
I'll be back in London. Hopefully for the Norwich, I should be back.
Make sure you sing Harry Kane's name.
Don't worry, I will.
Make sure you do.
Yeah.
Maybe if you also get a tour of the Skywalk, you might as well hold some tea towels, you know, up to dry as well, you know, for the Newcastle fans. Because
no, I'm just going to encourage Daniel Levy to come up to the Skywalk and just go give him a quick nudge. You know what I mean? Yeah, Daniel, what's that? Give him a nudge off the side.
Yeah,
at least you know he's strapped in.
The truth sets free says, I fucking love this guy. Chris, please give me your accent since Ben won't.
There's no words. There's no words for that.
I have a feeling though the Truth has a decent accent because I think he's, if I'm not, he's Massachusetts. Massachusetts has decent accent sometimes, especially in the Boston area. I know he's also, I think, has a bit of a New York background, to the best of my knowledge as well. So honestly, he has that nice East Coast accent, which sometimes, suits well. So don't put down your voice, Truth. Don't put down your truth.
The Truth, you're a hell of a character, man. You're a hell of a character. Big up the Truth.
That he is, that's for sure. Coover 99 says, Chris, there's room for far more comics than just 3 of us here on the Comedy Store. Big yourself up, mate. You crack me up and everyone else up regularly.
Big up Coover 99. Funny guy. That guy, him and Ben have me in fits of laughter. Ben tonight, especially. I was thinking, Ben, I love you, man. You're amazing. You're an amazing guy, Ben Kaufman. And we were lucky to have him on the stream on the 4 Hotspurs on Friday. And I'll tell you what, David, he is such a character.
Yeah, he is. No, he's a good
lad.
He's
the straight talker. Real recognizes real. That's what Coover is saying. He's just from one comedian to another. That's what he's saying, Chris. So don't put yourself down.
Coover, big up, sir, man. Funny guy as well. Another funny man. All seriousness, like for me, if I'm going back to the Tottenham Stadium, and we don't get Vlahovic, Daniel Levy is getting chucked off the skywalk. But you know what? I was reading that thing about the ketchup and mayonnaise thing that Conte's banned it. I was thought of getting him one of those big trench coats and going outside the stadium going, yo, do you want to buy a bottle of ketchup for Tangy and see what happens? Do you know what I mean?
I'd say the physio's making a fortune now, right now, lad.
Yeah, I was going to get one of those, actually, Dave. I was going to get one of those drones and just fly him over the stadium, just drop him down for him. Yo, Tangy, do you want one?
Oh, stop. Stop, lad.
Dangling it over.
Yeah, just when you go over him, Jack, with the old drone, just drop it down slowly for him. You know, Tangy, chase it.
That's what David used to say when we saw Tanguy pressing. Somebody must have, left a burger, in the field because he's just chasing the scent.
That's wrong. He saw the hot dog vendor and he was trying to chase him. It's the hot dog vendor, man. He saw him in the stands. He thought, I can get my hot dog while I'm on the run.
Might as well.
But no. Yeah,
maybe even when he hit that banger against Newcastle, he was just trying to hit the hot dog guy in the stands. Maybe that's all.
Yeah, he saw the fresh peanuts and said, just wait there for me, I'm coming. But no, seriously, I think Sunday, we should open up leads easily. We should, with their style of play, we should easily open them up. I'm expecting a minimum of 12 points over these next few games. Leicester and Liverpool are going to be difficult. I reckon we'll turn Brighton over. Even though playing good football, I still reckon we'll turn Brighton over.
So who are we losing to then in the next 5 games? If you're going,
do you know what? Points? I've got a bad feeling we're going to drop points to the one team that no one expects us to, and that's Burnley. We get a point from them. Because they're the sort of team.
That'll be 13 points then, though, Chris. So who would we? Is it the rest of them wins, or maybe we drop more? What do you think?
I think the rest wins, and then we're going to drop a point, 2 points at bloody Burnley, because that's the way we are. We'll beat the difficult team. We'll beat the difficult teams, and then it'll come to the point where we play Burnley. Then we do what Tottenham does best: drop points to the teams that we don't want to.
I actually think Burnley are the most difficult out of them because they're physical, and they're well grilled. But at the end of the day, we bet them under Nuno. I think we'll definitely beat them under Conte.
Oh, what? Old Dyche, he's a 6'7" defender. He just like to give Sonny and Ken a good old elbow in the face when the ref's not looking. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Well, just hope Mike Dean's not the referee for them when we play them. And have John Moss on VAR again.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. No,
that'd be a good combo. That'd be a nice combo for us. That would definitely suit us. But True Sets for here just signed up for yoga and relaxation classes led by Nuno Espirito Santo. Definitely that very calm, soothing voice, especially with that beautiful beard as well. That would be absolutely fantastic. I also said, Chris, my little joke about Nuno would be with that huge, massive payout he has. Hopefully, he just opens a nice, kind of beard, kind of shop for men or something like that. Get nice essential oils, for the beards and whatnot. He could probably teach us
Chris in the Manscaped.
He probably would get a job at Manscaped. Maybe so. But Nuno definitely someone who should probably use that money, that payout wisely. He's got a lot to use it with. But True Sets Free is also saying Boston and Cape Cod talk. if you get wicked hammered, I'm going to get wicked pissed and take the keys to your fucking
Well, he made
car.
himself proud, didn't he? Well, Jack, remember the comments that Nuno made when he first came to us? He's going to make us proud. He didn't really make us proud, did he? He made himself proud because he got a nice payoff.
I think what it was actually, Chris, when we think about it, he was going to get paid more if he got sacked than if he finished the whole contract when we realized.
True.
Which is kind of a
but
weird incentive when you think about it. It's almost like you would intentionally get fired if you really didn't care very much.
But that's Daniel Levy's standards, though, isn't it? Rather sack a manager, pay out the manager in sacking fees than buy players.
Mm.
Strange way of doing business, isn't it? That's Daniel Levy all over you with Levyland and the golf club. I wonder if Conte got his own membership yet. I just wonder if Conte was actually giving that membership, because I was watching the video of Conte and Daniel Levy discussing the stuff with Paratici, and Daniel Levy looked like he was actually shitting himself. It's like
he took the words out of my mouth.
He's like Conte's telling him who I want, and he's like, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe Conte had a Beretta under the table or something like that. So maybe that's all it was. He was just, saying, this is the other coach I'm going to get in. And then Daniel Levy was just like, yes, just don't.
Well, there was that guy sat next to. There was that guy sat next to Daniel Levy, the big bull fella, and I was like, is that Conte's hitman waiting for him to make the wrong move? Do you know what I mean? Like,
just wait for him to say no.
Yeah, I dare you. Go on, say no. Go on, I dare you. Say no.
Maybe it's Paratici, actually. Maybe it's Paratici. It's because he was sitting next to Levy. Maybe it was Paratici holding that.
Yeah. No, you got Conte saying, I want this player, I want 150 million. And if Daniel Levy was saying no, the boot of the car's open waiting for you. Do you know what I mean? So,
well done.
150 million.
I hope so. Where would you spend the 150 million, Chris? Don't spend it all in one place.
Vlahovic, Kessier, and the centre back.
There you go. There you are, everybody. And also probably a bit of money, maybe hopefully left to spare. That would be maybe 3 world-class players when you think about it as well. I like that, Chris. I like that. I like that a lot. Good choices there. I know a lot of people agree with you.
Yeah, because we still need that backup striker. We still need a creative midfielder. And Moon Boots, I can't keep watching him see game after game. He's doing okay with clean sheet. But Romero's a beast. We already know that. But Dyer, it's only a matter of time before he makes that same mistake again.
Yeah. Only a matter of time until he hits in a brace of own goals again. But
I think, well, all the extra training they're doing now, Conte said, look, now we can't keep chasing these balls out of the stadium. We've got to keep the ball down.
No, look, he's going to have to buy someone in to do that. You know what I mean? For forever as Moon Boots is here, he's going to keep pinging them into the stands.
Yeah, but do you know what? I was just wondering how long Winks and Ali are going to last under Conte's new training regime. Are they going to be the ones that did the same to Poch? Oh, Daniel, the training's too hard. Do you know what I mean? Because it always seems to be the same too. Go running. It's like being back at school. Sir, this person's picking on me. It's always the same with them two. Dele Alli touched the hat. Sorry, mate, your hat don't fit no more. You need to get your hair cut first. You know what I mean? But seriously, no. I think Conte's. I've seen their training videos recently. Oof, they're looking like they're getting back into their shape quick time.
It'd be nice to see a fit in Tanguy and Dembele. Be nice to see maybe
someone like 67 minutes. That would be a miracle. But yeah, that would be nice.
Be nice to just see certain players maybe be rejuvenized, or rejuvenated over Antonio Conte's reign here. It's certainly so. But Chris, any other maybe final words of wisdom? Any other final words of comedy maybe for the Harris Army here?
Words of comedy.
Whatever. It doesn't have to be comedic. Whatever other things maybe you want to mention.
See, now I know Brian Daigle's a big advocate of leave out and in out. Yeah, I was just thinking, all right. Now, if we got somebody like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, we could be the first team, who can have the cockerel on the moon, bro. You know that? We could think about it, because instead of
Spurs kit taken into space.
Exactly. Yeah. See, Arsenal, we are higher than you, higher than you in all aspects.
That's what top of the table does. Takes you all the way up to the moon.
Up to the stars and back, yeah?
Yeah, there we go. I absolutely love it.
All I say to you lot is support the Harris Army. Come on, you Spurs. Get David and Jack to the 5K to deserve it. And come on, Sunday. Beat those Leeds lot. And top 4, here we come.
There we
Come
go,
on,
Chris.
Spurs.
Loving it. Absolutely loving it.
In Conte, we trust.
In Conte, we trust. Hopefully, you have a bit of carbonara, something maybe you can be cooking up Sunday, Chris, after that 4-1 win, that 5-1 win they were talking about.
The pizza slices will be the pizza slices will be coming out. Don't worry.
No, there we go. Get a fresh pizza. Don't eat any leftover pizza. From
No,
the weeks before.
I'll be going to the local Italian. I'll be like, yeah, my team are playing. I need an Italian pizza.
I need a Tonio Conte special. Loving it, Chris. Absolutely.
Chris,
loving
when I'm over, I'll definitely be sharing an Italian pizza with you, my man.
Definitely. Yeah, and the old carbonara. And if things start going drastically wrong, the pizza gets slung out the window.
Oh, Chris, carbonara starters, pizza's main course, lad.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Definitely. Oh yeah, the old bruschetta as well, just in case.
Oh, well, that's a side dish. That comes with the carbonara, lad.
Boys be feasting. You boys be feasting. Love it.
Oh,
and David, you're still not forgiven, man. Hurt my feelings.
I know what you're talking about now, Chris. I actually forgot what you were talking about. Now I know what he's talking about. That was low.
Chris,
he did that.
Low
that was low.
blow.
That was low. That was low.
I wasn't the one that put Ben Davies in the team. I wasn't the one that sat there and called Ben Davies man the match either.
Hey,
I'm
David,
just starting to put 2 and 2 together. And
David, I might have to do my own hashtag.
David,
I'm going to have to come up with my own hashtag. Hashtag don't put Ben Davies in again.
Hashtag Chris, do your homework.
Low blow.
That's low again. Chris, that's low again, David. That's a low blow. David.
No, Chris knows
Chris,
Chris, you know I'm only joking, my man. You know what he's joking.
Hurt my feelings, man. But you know what, though? I think but I have to say, Jack, I think David could be right. I might have to go back and do my homework again. I might be joining. I might be joining Alex. I might be joining Alex on the blackboard game. I should not rate Ben Davies. I should not rate Ben Davies.
Realistically, you should be blaming Josh because Josh was the one that allowed that to happen. He should have seen that team sheet, sent it back to you and said, Chris, are you sure? You know what I mean?
But you know what, David?
You blame Josh.
But David, there was a bit of logic behind it because we haven't got a left-footed centre-back. So there was a bit of a logic towards it. So only because we had nobody to play in that position.
Well, look, Chris,
in the back three.
The feelings are coming out again for Davies. The feelings are coming out again for Davies.
Just know that, Chris, you'll be turning in your homework before Alex Davies does. I'll tell you that. You'll be turning it in before he does. So all be repaired.
Jack, behave yourself. Jack, behave yourself. That's not on. That's not on. I'm not having it from you as well. That's just hang out of order. And David, you're not forgiven.
I know. I will be. Big up, dog, Chris. Absolute legend.
Right, love you lot. Thank you lot. Big time. You lot have been a great support for me. And you can catch me on Saturday this week on the 4 Hotspurs as well. So me, Josh, Dermot, and Phil Lettice will be all there from about 8 o'clock onwards. And I hope to see you all there.
We will. We'll be seeing you there. Big up, Chris.
Jack and David, you're banned after those David comments. I tell you.
I'll be in the chat. I'll be spamming you, Chris.
That's just low.
He's not forgiven. Hashtag Chris, do your homework. Hashtag David is not forgiven. Hashtag David is not forgiven.
Hashtag Jack, you're in line as well.
No, I don't want to be in line. Chris, I apologize. I'll apologize before David does. Big yourself up, Chris. Absolutely.
Big up, lads. Have a good evening, and let's bowl for you.
Same to you, Chris. See you, my man. Big up. What a man. Jack, do you know what he's saying? What Set You Free is saying here with this last bit?
I can't do the. He's trying to. Yeah, he said if we get wicked hammered, I could get wicked pissed and take the keys out of your fucking car. I think that's what it is. It's a big Boston accent. Which is not a bad accent. I would say it's definitely not a bad accent, especially when you're trying to sound tough. It's definitely not a bad accent. So that's what I'm saying. Truth. Don't trade that accent, especially if you got that one. Don't trade it, especially because knowing someone like me who has more of just, West Coast kind of, granola voice, I'll tell you that I would certainly kill for an accent like that. So big yourself up, Truth. Don't get rid of it. Don't get rid of it. And hopefully, Truth, maybe you enjoyed that impression. Hopefully you enjoyed that impression, but big yourself up, my man.
Oh, big up the Truth Set You Free. Jack deserves a role in that movie, The Town, after that. And another donation from the Truth Set You Free. Really appreciate it, my man. You're too kind. You're too kind. Big yourself up, brother. And Ishan, if you're still in the background, man, turn on your camera, lad, and we'll get you on. You're the last one there. Good man. Coover 99 says, we're Spurs. If all else fails and you're lost for words, you can always get your cockerel and football out for lads. Jack, I don't know. I think I've just butchered this one.
We're Spurs. If all else fails and you're lost for words, you can always just get your cock and football. The football out for the lads. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
I get it now. Get your cock and your football. Yeah. Cock and balls. Yeah.
We're a bit slow today, Kuba. We're a bit slow. That's what I was going to say. Kuba, I know what he wrote. He meant. So he's just a bit quicker than us, David. He's a bit quicker than us. He's a bit smarter than us when it comes to this sort of humor. So big yourself up, Kuba 99. Big yourself up. He's a bit wittier than us. So big yourself up, Kuba. Really appreciate the support. But we do have I'm not sure if it's his first time, but he's an absolute legend, especially the Flat Cap Army, Dave. I really love all the support that he's given over on our second channel. I know this guy is an unbelievable football brain. Is it Ishan? How do you say Ishan?
Ishan.
Ishan, sorry. That was probably the easier one. That was probably the easier guess, but big yourself up, my man. Thank you for also all the support on both channels, my man. It's good to put a name to such a nice face.
Yo, thanks.
So where are you from, first of all, my man? Tell me where you're from.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I live in Canada, but my family we used to live in London. So that's why my uncle and my dad were Spurs fans. So obviously I still want to support the team. My brother is actually living in London, and I might go to the Crystal Palace game in December. Yes. So yeah, it'd be amazing to see some of you guys
December
there.
match as well. That's sick. That's honestly one of the best times to go as well. That's a good atmosphere as well. Big yourself up, my man.
Oh, be jolly, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
What do you feel like? What do you want to talk about, my man? We could go anywhere you want to go.
I don't know. Obviously, I saw the financial fair play. What 400 million available, maybe some transfers as well. There's honestly a lot going on at the club.
If you had 150 million, one of the questions I asked before, that's supposedly the one that has been guaranteed. With the 400 million, that's just the profit over 10 years, but it has been somewhat confirmed by a lot of sources. We have about 150 million or 100 million to spend in the January market. I know you're a guy that would spend it wisely. I know you wouldn't spend it all in one place. Where would you spend it?
Well, first of all, I would definitely get Vlahovic. I mean, that guy's an absolute baller. I think he has 11 or 12 goals this season.
Yeah.
So definitely Vlahovic. I would also get there's actually a lot of good free transfers available, Kessié. I think Barcelona are after a signature, Real Madrid as well. So it might be tough to get him, but honestly, that guy could solve so many problems in our midfield. Brozovic as well. He's available on a free. Why not? Let's get all these guys on free transfers or maybe reduced fees. And Luis Felipe as well, for the Brazilian center back for Lazio. He's one of the best. He's one of the best defenders in Serie A. He's available on a free. Let's raid Serie A. I'm serious. Kulusevski, Juventus are willing to let him go for 20 million. Why not? Let's sign him for 20 million. A player like that, he would solve so many problems, especially creatively.
Let's have a nice raid of the Serie A. I love it. An absolute raid of the Serie A. Just, kind of like going down the grocery aisle. Just pick a few Serie A players off the shelves, especially the free ones. I'm absolutely loving it, especially that Luis Felipe shout. I definitely missed that one in my little combo with Darius on Sunday. I actually missed that one. Great shout, my man. And also, I will say, fantastic knowledge that you do have. What about maybe, with who would you rather have, maybe just so I can pick your brain a bit here. If you had to pick between a Kessié and a Brozovic, who do you think would solve more of our problems?
I think Kessié. It's a tough question. If just ability wise, I would go for Kessié, and he's younger as well. So maybe he can improve. He's already classed, but maybe he can improve. Right. I just think, Kessié is probably the better option for us. But like either one, I think Kessie, like, you know, like as much as I hate to say it, all the big teams are after his signature. So yeah, but I think Brozovic, like, you know, he has a good relationship with Conte. He probably wants to work under his former manager again. So either one will be fine.
Either one definitely would be fine. Certainly be fine with me. I think I might go. You got very convincing though in that Kessié argument. I would say David and I were big Brozovic fans though when he did that big reaction video to it. But maybe, you know, where else would you maybe go for if you, let's say you had 3 positions that you could sign in the January window? What would be those 3 positions?
Well, the first position, definitely a striker, because our backup striker is 17-year-old Dane Scarlett, which, like, come on, Daniel Levy. Like, you gotta have a backup striker. Like, you can't have Son, who's already a starter, be a backup striker for Kane, who's also a starter, and then you have Dane Scarlett, who's like an academy prospect. I love Dane Scarlett, but come on, he's 17 years old. You can't expect him to put a shift in a Premier League game. So definitely a striker, a creative midfielder, right? Maybe like a deep line playmaker like Bruno Guimaraes that you guys mentioned in the Black Cap channel. I love that guy. I love that guy a lot. And center back definitely, because aside from Romero and our fullbacks, like we're missing 2 key center backs. Obviously, I would love Luis Felipe on a free and maybe a left-sided center back. Like obviously Bastoni. I love the guy. I signed him in Football Manager every time I start a new save. But yeah, but I don't think it's happening. He's just too expensive. He's the future of Italy, so I just don't think it's gonna happen. But obviously, there's other good options like Sven Botman. I love that guy.
Now we're
Pau
speaking.
Torres.
Now you're after David Hart.
Yeah, Pau Torres I also really, really like, especially for his on-ball skill. I got to go with Pau Torres, to be honest. I just think his skills on the ball are just so much better. Yeah, like, and he's a really class player. Like, he won the Europa League with Villarreal. Like, come on. He played a huge part. He pocketed United and Arsenal. Like, come on. Like, this guy's, he's world class, I'd say, in my opinion.
I think he is.
Pau Torres. So yeah,
we were making the argument that, you know, with Sven Botman though, maybe you probably pay a bit less for him. You know, I know we're not supposed to be thinking that way, probably over the trauma of the Levy years when you think about it, you know, we're like, you know, thinking that we still need to spend cheaply, but you know, if we still
for 18 months.
I know it's the mindset that we're still in. But you know, like, you know, just kind of play with me here. If we're still doing that traumatized kind of mindset of the Levy years, I think we were making the argument that someone like the Sven Botman, you know, would kind of be maybe a better bang for your buck. But Pau Torres at the same time, I agree with you, is world class. So maybe we do have to think more on that level.
I think with Botman, he is much, much better in the air. Like Pau Torres, he's ridiculously tall. I don't know why he's so bad in the air. Like he's like 6'4". I don't know. God blessed him with such great height, but no,
he wasn't convincing. With headers.
No. In the air, Pau Torres has a huge weakness. I will admit, Botman is much better in the air, but we do need like a true like ball playing defender. You know, brings the ball out of the defense. And Pau Torres, I think his synergy with Romero would work really well. Romero is like the stopper type, aggressive, and then Pau Torres is like the cover type, more like a sweeper, sweeps up behind, right? I think that would be a really good combo. Pau Torres left-footed as well. So I would love him, but Botman, he's extremely undervalued. So I would go for Botman, to be honest. And with a lot more aerial duels in the Premier League, maybe Botman is better. Maybe he's more Premier League ready, like you guys mentioned.
You're after David's art here. You're probably making David blush with that sort of analysis, honestly.
Honestly, I absolutely love it, Jack. You need to get him on instead of me now for the scout report. He's outshined me.
We will. We should.
No, man. No, David, your reactions are the best, honestly. You're the most enthusiastic guy, even after like horrible performances. Like you always lift everyone up, get everyone excited for each and every game. So, like, you're a legend, David.
No, look, I appreciate it, my man. Look, I can only do my best. That's all I can do. I do appreciate it. But no, honestly, look, I love what you're saying there about Pau Torres and Sven Botman. It's just music to my ears, lad. You know what I mean? I absolutely love it. Because for me, I think one of them two, either for the left-sided centre-back, I think perfect.
Mhm.
Perfect going forward. They're here for the next 6-7 years alongside Romero. And then after that, you could put in a Tanganga, you could put in a Dyer, or, you know what I mean? Or eventually you can go and buy that right-sided centre-back. So I completely agree with you. And great analysis, honestly.
Yeah.
Jack should be thinking about getting you out for a scout report. That was good. That was good.
Think about right now, where can I sign him up, Dave? Where can I sign him up? Especially I know he's probably cost the big bucks as well, but apparently that's what I have to
No,
play with
man,
these days.
I'm a broke college student, so
I guess we can sign you on a
Every
free,
step
like
you
Luis
choose.
Felipe. Maybe we can
Oh
sign you
yeah,
on a free for
definitely.
big up.
Yeah, with Luis Felipe, I think he's more of a low key name. He's young. I think he's 24, so
Yep.
like a year older than Romero. And honestly, his game style is very similar to Romero. They're both right-footed, aggressive center backs who love winning the ball high up the pitch, and like they are not afraid to get carded or break some bones to stop a goal. So I think those two, like any forward would be scared to face those guys, because if you try to dribble past them, just know that like you're gonna be like rugby tackled. Honestly, those guys
they're gonna
are
leave
brilliant.
a mark on you. They're gonna leave a mark on you. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and they're like good for the future as well, because they're still so young.
Yeah. No, that's the truth. That's the truth. And Ishan, sorry, how do I pronounce it again? I just want to make sure I have it.
It's Ishan.
Ishan.
Yeah.
Ishan.
Yeah.
Okay,
All good,
Ishan.
David. Yeah.
Much easier actually. Yeah,
no, it is much easier. So Ishan. So look, the next 5 games coming up, my man. How many points do you think realistically we can achieve?
Let me just pull up the.
No, I got them right here for you. I'll try to do it out of memory. So it's Leeds home, Burnley away, Brentford home, Norwich away. Or is it Norwich at home? Norwich home, Brentford away, or Brighton away. I know that probably was not as easy for you, but yeah, you can look it up maybe just so, because that was a bit.
So
you're right.
Honestly, we have a chance of winning all those games.
Yeah.
Like on paper, our squad is better than all of theirs.
Yeah.
Right? I think Brighton away will be difficult, and Burnley away will also be difficult. So if we could take like draws from those games, just a single point from those games, why not? Like that'd be like good, especially because we're in a transition season. We have to be patient. Yeah. A new manager just came in. He hasn't been able to bring in his signings yet. Obviously, the squad is like needs complete freshening up. We need new furniture. But yeah, all the home games, we should be winning. We should be winning those home games, especially Leeds. They're in bad form and they're very susceptible to the counterattack. We know Conte loves a counterattack. He knows how to set up a team to be clinical in the counter. So I think Leeds, we can definitely get a really good result there. Like that should be a confidence booster, to be honest. If we could get like a 3-1, 4-1 against those guys, that'd be a huge confidence booster. Maybe Kane scores. I want him back in form.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah, we have a conference league game as well on the 25th against Mura.
Yes,
that's definitely that's actually a Dane Scarlet match for me. I feel like that is a Dane Scarlet match, especially because we got that 3 needed points against Vitesse, where we actually were saying, which is horrible, Ishan. It was horrible to say it's horrible to say that was a must-win game, because if we've lost that game, that would have been actually maybe the end of our conference league dreams.
Conference league, like we should at least be challenging for the Europa League. Conference league is just honestly pretty disgusting, to be honest, and we're still struggling. Come on, look, our
it's not the conference of champions for you. That's what I've called it before. It's once we win it becomes the conference of champions. It's no longer the conference.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take a trophy. We have a good chance of winning it. We should still try to win it. Let's not treat it as a joke, because we haven't won a trophy. It'll get us into the Europa League. Arguably, it's easier than getting top 6 in the league to get into the Europa League. Winning the Conference League, plus it's a trophy. So why not? Let's go for it, right? I think with the B team though, right? Like the Delhi, the Davies, the Bergwines, right? How I don't get how they can't perform against Vitesse like Ren. Like I just don't get it. Like you look at our wage bill compared to like Vitesse's wage bill, and the effort that those guys are putting in compared to our B team is just ridiculous. Like I honestly think that we should just play our under 23s because at the very least we know that they will give their hardest. They wanna secure a first team spot. So I would say play Dane Scarlett. I don't care if they perform poorly. We know that they're giving it their all at the very least.
You're after Dark Sanji's heart now. You're after Dark Sanji's heart. Dark Sanji would be loving you right now if he were here. I mean, even I would take it a step further. We even saw Dele Alli couldn't even perform against Mura.
Yeah, like with the likes of Dele, Winks, Davies, these guys are obviously 100% committed to taking home their salary every week. Why can't they be committed on the pitch?
That's what they're passionate about.
Couldn't agree more.
About just making sure that the check is paid on time. Yeah, but definitely. But Ishan, I mean, what do you kind of make of maybe the whole, kind of, I don't know, like, what do you make of this? I kind of want to get your thoughts on this. A lot of people are kind of saying that maybe Hojbjerg, Skippy might not be good enough. Maybe especially in Hojbjerg's case, not good enough. I mean, you don't have to be afraid to upset me. I mean, what are your thoughts on Hojbjerg? Is he maybe not good enough?
Personally, I love Hojbjerg, right? Like just a few bad games and people forgot like the shifts he put in last season. He was playing damn near every single game because Mourinho couldn't trust anyone. Couldn't even in the Europa League games or like, the Carabao Cup games. You can't trust Winks to do anything. You can't trust Dele to do anything, right? And we're forgetting like all the minutes he played last season. He played in the Euros. I think he's extremely tired. Hojbjerg, he hasn't had sufficient rest. And with the likes of Hojbjerg and Skip together, right? Like they shouldn't be playing together because they basically take up the same role. They're both good, but the reason that they're even in there in the first place is because the players that are supposed to be creative, like Dele and Ndombele, Lo Celso, they don't do anything. They don't even put in the effort. Yeah. So like how like that forces the manager like Nuno, it forces Conte to play them too, because at the very least they'll be able to turn over the ball and keep and defend well. With the likes of Winks and Lo Celso and Ndombele, they don't do anything at all. You can't trust them at all.
Well said, actually. So, I think that's what the case of the Hojbjerg especially is, that we're asking him, because I don't think they can't put the burden on Skippy to create chances. So now they're putting the burden on Hojbjerg to be able to create the chances. And it's maybe just a bit unfair to him because, like you even said, it's not necessarily his best attribute, and that's not any slight towards him.
Yeah, that's not his role. He's a ball-winning midfielder. So is Skip, right? Ideally, they should be playing together, but this all goes back to Daniel Levy and the board. They can't bring in the players that we need, right? Like Bruno Fernandes. Why didn't we get him? He was tearing up Liga NOS. He was breaking goal-scoring records. He would have been amazing for us. But I think Bruno even said in an interview that he was closer to joining Spurs than United at one point. Yeah, but obviously,
he wanted
yeah. But Levy just doesn't want to pay up for the big players. I also read an article. Mourinho wanted to bring in Ruben Dias and Bruno Fernandes as his first two signings. And then when we couldn't get Ruben Dias, he wanted to get Skriniar, but we couldn't get those guys either. We're David mentions being proactive. We're always reactive. We had a horrible season where our defense kept letting us down. So, okay, now we have to spend 50 million for Romero. Amazing signing, by the way. The price is probably a steal, in my opinion. I love Romero, right? But let's say we brought in Skriniar last season, we would have made top 4. I think we can agree that with one competent defender there, like Skriniar or Ruben Dias, we would have made top 4. And then, let's say we had Skriniar, for argument's sake, and then this season we brought in Romero. We wouldn't have been scrambling to fix up our defense.
Yeah.
Right. So it's all these things. You go for the cheap option, eventually it's gonna bite you in the ass.
Absolutely spot on. Yeah. Absolutely spot on. Well, look, Ishan, I have to say, been a great comment, man. I want to see you back again.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely be back.
Let me ask him a quick question, Dave. Just because he's spoken a lot of truths tonight, David, I feel like he deserves to get one more. He's spoken a lot of truths tonight. What do you make of the last window? Are you already down Paratici, or do you still need time?
Yo, honestly, Paratici older you get to the Don status, in my opinion, because like let's say if Hitchin and Levy were making the signings, we wouldn't have gotten Romero. I still don't know how we managed to sign him, because especially after that Copa America win, he was getting like so much praise from everywhere. I think he was on everyone's radar. Even Messi tried to get him to sign for Barcelona. And I think it's because Paratici had a good relationship with Romero. He brought him in at Juventus as well. I think that's why he was able to convince a player of that caliber to come sign for Tottenham and really believe in the project he's trying to build. Paratici was also able to get a bunch of the deadwood out, which probably wouldn't have happened under Levy and Hitchin. And yeah, all of his signings have been really good. I like Emerson. Like, he's been probably our best player for the past 2 or 3 games. I would say.
I agree.
And like Galini,
you know,
we don't even actually have to sign him, because he has to play like 15 league games in order for us to sign him. So that was actually very well structured. And yeah, Galini, he's good with his distribution. Maybe his shot stopping needs some work. He had a good game against Wolves in the Carabao Cup with the penalty shootout. He pulled off a good save there. But so far, like Paratici, all his signings have been good. We gotta put faith in someone with a proven track record. I mean, what Paratici did at Juventus, what Conte did at Juventus, Chelsea and Inter Milan, these guys have proven track records. So let's put faith in them, and like above all else, let's stay positive, and let's stay patient, because we know this is a transition season. Let's back our team. When the wins come, like, let's be positive. Maybe we scrape a 1-0, like maybe we're playing defensive, but like, come on, playing attacking football is simply a luxury we cannot afford at this time. So let's stay positive and let's stay patient. And maybe next season, maybe after the winter window, the summer window, when Conte can get all the signings in, we can go for top 4. We can go for FA Cups. Maybe we get Champions League football this season. So come on, you Spurs, let's go.
Loving it. The more, David, I think he said, the older he gets, the more Don he becomes. So there you are. So pick yourself up. It's on. It was a brilliant talking to you. It was really, honestly, I can't wait to see you next week, because hopefully we will be seeing you next week, because you absolutely smashed it, my man. I'm able to put such a brilliant face to such a brilliant name in the comments that I've been seeing a lot as well. It's honestly, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I saw you uploaded the Badiashile video as well. He's another left-sided center back who I do rate. He's really young as well, and he's good in the air, similar to a Botman. So yeah, I'll check out that video right after
Appreciate
this.
It.
And yeah, if anyone's gonna be at the Crystal Palace game on the 26th, you guys can hit me up, and I'll be there. I'll be there, and I'd love to meet anyone if in the chat, and we can have a good time.
Ishan will be at the Crystal Palace match, everybody. He'll be there, and you'll see him there, probably roaming around. Especially, I think you said, what is it? Your brother lives in London at the moment?
Yeah, but my younger brother lives with my uncle in London. He's studying there, so
nice. There you go.
Yeah, I'll be sure. My brother will definitely come. I don't know about my uncle, but we'd love to meet you guys.
All right, big up, Ishan. Big up, my man. Also, fantastic job. Absolutely class done. And also, as well, it's good to finally be able to speak to you, be able to put that face to a name, Jack, as well.
Yeah, and I love your vids. I love your videos, Jack. Because it's not like the big names, Mbappe scouting report, Holland scouting report, right? It's more creative. You have to dig in. You have to find like these hidden gems that you can get for lower prices. It's unique content that you really can't find anywhere else. So big up you guys.
Nice of you. Very nice of you, my man. But hopefully we'll be seeing you very, very soon. Same time next week, as we like to say. And also, I'll say it again, my man. Class done. Well, very well done. Classy.
I'll be in contact, man. Big yourself up.
Yeah. Big up, brother. Thanks, guys.
See you soon.
Great call, I have to say.
Big up. Oh, sorry, Dave. Big up Ishan, though. Big up, my man. Well done, sir. Well done, sir. And also have a good night as well, my man. Have a good night. Spurs squad is saying, also, David, I mean, the Canadian Army is strong. The Canadian Army is strong. The Canadian knowledge is strong. But Spurs squad is in the building. I think he's just saying big ups to the grind. Big ups to the grind is what he was saying. Aaron,
I'll take this. He says, please stop the spiritual religion. Not all of us are religious. The mental health stuff is great, but please stop the spiritual. This is football. Yeah, no, look, 100%. You want to talk about politics, religion, and everything else, go and create group chats and go and do it. This is a football channel. That's what we will be talking about. Mental health stuff, not brilliant. No problem. But look, if you just want to argue over religion or whatever else, please try and refrain from doing it in the chat, guys. It is a football channel. First and foremost, it's dedicated to our great club, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But look, you know, it is what it is. Just if we are in the chat, please try kind of keep it football related. That would be awesome. Coover 99 says people need to stop saying their accent is bad. Mine is West Country, which means I either sound like Warsaw the Village Idiot or at best an extra from Pirates of the Caribbean. Come on, or are you Spurs?
I like it, Coover. Honestly, big up Coover. He's just basically saying, you know, everybody's got to hold their own voice, make it their own, accept that is the voice that you were blessed with, the voice that you were born with, and, you know, own it. Absolutely own it. That's great words of encouragement, Coover. Made me feel a lot better as well, Coover. Probably made, you know, especially Truth feel a lot better. So big yourself up, Coover. Very, very nice of you. And also thank you for the very nice donation as well. Really appreciate that, my man. And always as well, he always adds a bit of humor to it as well, as of course. True Stats Free says Spurs plan going into this season. Let's just have one legendary striker with pedestrian talent around him as long as Drake concerts kicks off NFL games. That's a bit of a Kuva comment right there, honestly. That's a bit of a Kuva-esque comment, but what do you say to that, Dave? I mean, that's basically he's just singing from your hymn sheet right there.
No, he definitely is. He definitely is. Look, they should have had a quality striker. They should have had a quality striker in to compete. They didn't get it done. You know what I mean? And I agree with you. You know, he's definitely getting pissed off with some of the players in and around him. You know, I wouldn't blame him, to be honest with you. I'd be annoyed as well. But big up the Truth Sets Free. Really appreciate the support, brother. It's been absolutely amazing today. You're top man. You know, I really, really do appreciate the support. You're too kind to myself and Jack. We really don't deserve it with the level you've given it to us today, my man. So thank you very, very much. But look, guys, we've come to an end. That is the end of a fan show for another Monday evening. So look, guys, we're going to head off now. But it's been an absolute brilliant fan show. So it has absolute brilliant fan show. I really enjoyed it. You know, some great characters. It's been from start to finish just full of characters. We're even missing other regulars like Ellie, Philip Brady, who was off not well and stuff like that, you know. So absolutely amazing fan shows. These are getting better and better each week. We're unearthing new talent every single week. People coming on, having their say. It's absolutely brilliant. But Jack, you know, throw the flatcapeurotalk link in here. You know, Ishan, like he said, Jack, it's unique content.
That's very nice of Ishan. It was very nice of Ishan. Everybody, I just will say, you know, I'm trying to keep the content up and going over on the second channel. You know, the January transfer window could not come any sooner. It seems to be right around the corner, everybody. I will say it is definitely your place to be able to find a bit of that transfer discussion, especially anything having to do with Spurs. If you're trying to find that new center mid, that new left-sided center back, that backup striker, if you will, as well, you know, you head on over to that second channel, because with that second channel, basically you can even request me and I will provide as soon as I can any players that you feel like, you know, I need to take a look at, any players that maybe the Harris Army, if not Spurs community, are missing out on. You know, everything from, you know, Benoit Badiashile, I just checked off the list. I've checked off plenty of other players off the list before. Pretty soon I'm going to be giving out Robin Gosens. There's also, you know, the Sergei Milinkovic-Savic somebody wanted me to do, which would be an absolute treat to be able to do. Not sure how realistic that one will be. But also, you know, someone's been requesting Nico Schlotterbeck, the guy out of Freiburg. If you're kind of, you know, like me, you know, you actually know who that is. You know, you might as well just find that on your second channel, but because it definitely is your place to basically nerd out with me on European football, to basically solve Spurs. It's almost like doing like a football manager, David, like a FIFA career mode, but in real life with me. I give you the highlight reactions. I give you the stats. I give you the analysis. And usually David joins me as well for the ride. It's basically your favorite new home. It's your second home. And as David said before, which I will take right now, when the January window comes up, it will be your new Bible. It will be your new, it'll be your notebook to go by. Basically be that thing that you look at before you go to bed every night, thinking and dreaming about which players Spurs should sign in order to fix their problems. Head on over to our second channel. Would really appreciate the support over there.
No, exactly. And look, Ishan backing it up. He says he loves the content. It is unique. But big up, guys. Everybody, absolute legends. Truth Set You Free says Lasso to United almost complete. Legend, my man.
I did just do a live stream, which I will try to do more live streams because I really feel like people did enjoy the live streams. I did one with Darius yesterday, which was an absolute blast. It just time flew by. It was an absolute banger as well, which I really try to use very sparingly, but I really did think it was an absolute banger alongside Darius. And I will try to get him on as much as I can. He's a very busy guy, though, so I do try to work within his schedule. But everybody, I will try to come up with more of those kind of transfer-related discussions because it felt like a lot of people really seemed to enjoy it. But as always, the Flat Cap Euro Scout reports will be always coming out as fast as they can, as soon as they can. But I will try to increase the live streams a bit more.
No, there you heard it there first. But look, guys, exactly what's the story says here. Big yourself up. Nearly at 5K subscribers. Woo! Big yourself up. That's what I'm talking about. But guys, do get over and check out flatcapeurotalk. But look, we'll be back tomorrow with something else that we've cooked up. Who knows what it could be? It could be absolutely crazy. But me and Jack will be back here tomorrow. But guys, look, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody for your support. Everyone that's liked the stream, the new subscribers, and everything else. If you're in the chat and you haven't already subscribed, what the hell are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button. Enthusiastic content like this every single day of the week. What more do you want? But look, guys, a massive thank you. A massive thank you to everybody who helped them, who put in the super chats and all today. It's really, really appreciated. You have no idea how much it really, really helps me and Jack going forward in terms of being able to be better, do better, and everything else. You have no idea how much it really, really helps. Absolute legends. Big yourselves up, the Irish Hotspur Army. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. In Conte we trust. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. In Conte we trust.